Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Rouse Baseball's live commentary of the Nippon Professional Baseball League. Tonight, we are going to be bringing you the finals. It is the Japan Series, and it will feature the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks hosting the Hanshin Tigers in Game 1 of the series. It is going to be played at the PayPay Dome in Fukuoka, and we are going to give you the starting lineups in just a couple moments. We take a look back at the matchup between these two teams. They did play each other in interleague play earlier in the month of June in a three-game set. It was all three games were played at the Koshin Stadium, and the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks took two of the three games in a tightly contested series. The first game was in favor of the Hawks as they beat the Tigers 2-1 in 10 innings. The second game, the Tigers followed up behind Otake, who got the win and combined with a shutout to beat the Hawks 3-0. And in the final game, it was the Hawks with a 3-1 victory over the Tigers to win that series in the middle of the season. But that was then, and this is now. And we're going to give you the starting lineups for these two ball clubs for Game 1 tonight. We'll begin with the visitors, the Hanshin Tigers. Leading off tonight, in center field, wearing number 5 is Koji Chikamoto. Batting second and playing second base is number 51, and that is Takuma Nakano. Hitting in the third spot, and in right field is number 1, Shota Morishita. In the cleanup spot and playing third base tonight is number 8, Teruki Sato. Batting fifth at first base is number 3, Yusuke Oyama. Hitting in the sixth spot in left field is number 53, and that is Kaini Shimada. Hitting sixth and doing the designated hitting is number 67, Nozumu Takatera. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is Seishiro Sakamoto. He'll wear number 12. And batting ninth, the shortstop, number 38, Ryuhei Obata. And they're going to be facing Kohei Arihara, who takes to the hill. The Hawks, a right-hander, made 26 starts this year. He had a 14-9 record. He worked 175 innings in the regular season. Gave up 167 hits, 67 runs, 59 were earned. He walked 41 and struck out 121 while pitching to a 3.03 ERA. Well, that's your starting lineup for the visitors from Osaka. Now the starting lineup for the hometown Fukuoka Softbank Hawks. Leading off in left field is number 9, Yuki Yanagita. Hitting second in center field is number 23, Yukio Shudo. Batting third in right field is number 32, Tetsuro Yanagamachi. And the cleanup spot and doing the designated hitting is number 3, Kensuke Kondo. Hitting fifth and playing first base is number 24, Ryoya Kurihara. Hitting sixth at shortstop is number 0, Hikaru Kawase. Batting seventh at third base is number 99, is Sami Nomura. Hitting eighth and doing the catching is number 62, Takashi Umino. And batting ninth at second base is number 8, Taisi Makihara. And they are going to be facing Shoki Murakami, who takes to the hill with a 14-4 regular season record. He worked 175 in a third innings, allowed 131 hits, 41 runs, all of which were earned. He walked 25 and struck out 144, and he will take to the hill here tonight to face the Hawks. Well, those are your starting lineups, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action. Stay with us, everybody, on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel that is live English commentary, and we'll be back right after this timeout.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. The ceremonial first pitch has been completed, and we are ready to get this one going here in just a couple of moments. It is going to be Kohei Arihara taking to the hill to do his tune-up tosses, and we'll be right back right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are ready to get this one underway. It'll be the top of the order, Koji Chikamoto, Takumu Nakano, and Shota Morishita to face Kohei Arihara here in inning number 1, as it is the first game of the Nippon Series, and we are bringing it to you here live tonight. And the home plate umpire has signaled to play ball, and we are underway as Arihara ready to deliver the first pitch of the ball game. First pitch on the way. Fastball misses up and in for a ball, and the count is 1-0 to Chikamoto. During the regular season, Chikamoto hit .279. He had 3 homers and 34 runs driven in. Bats from the left side with a very open stance as the pitch is delivered. Fastball misses down, and the count goes to 2-0. Chikamoto has wheels, 30-plus stolen bases again this season. As the native of Owaiji Island, a popular player in that area, just a little bit west of Kobe, where he had grown up and called his home. So here comes the 2-0 pitch as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball center cut, and the count now goes to 2-1. Our friend Ed Schroeder in the house tonight asked the question, how do you feel about the under? You think it's all square? Well, certainly we talked about the regular season matchups between these teams. Of course, it was these two teams. Of course, it was back in June. As the 2-1 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on it, is chopped and fielded by Arihara. He flips the first, and Chikamoto is going to be retired for the first out of the ball game. It goes as a ground out 1-3 for out number 1. That is going to bring up the second baseman in Takuma Nakano. So back to our friend M. Schroeder asking the question how we feel if they think they can get to the Hawks starter. I think the telltale inning is going to be the first inning for Arihara. If he can get through this unscathed, it could be a tough night for the Hanshin Tigers. Right-hander ready to go. He works himself set to the belt, and now he kicks and delivers. Fastball misses upstairs. The count is 1-0. Looks like that he's having a little bit of a struggle getting command of his pitches right now. So 1 ball and no strikes. Pitch on the way. It is a fastball that is taken for a called strike. Nakano tried to hold up. I think he did hold his swing, but I think the home plate umpire went around with it regardless. As the right-hander again delivers, fastball misses outside. It's now 2-1. So if you look at the history of the teams, as we said during the regular season, there wasn't one game that had more than 5 runs in the ball game. So I would expect that both of these teams here will be able to keep the scoring down. That is my guess. And here comes the 2-1 offering as the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded foul over on the first base side. The count now goes to 2-2 on Nakano. Arihara gets a new baseball. He goes to the rosin bag. Nakano getting the start at second base tonight for the Tigers. There were some interesting additions, and we will go through that with the lineup tonight for the Hawks. Defensively tonight for the Hawks, from left to right field, it's Yanagita in left. The center fielder is Shudo. In the right field, it's Yanagamachi. Around the horn from first to third, Kurihara is at first. The second baseman is Taisi Makihara. Kawase at short, Nomura at third, and the battery of Arihara and Amino. The pitch from Arihara on the way, fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the third base line, and the count is going to remain at 2-2. M. Schroeder said it was the total was 5.5 or 6, depending upon the book. And certainly, I think that's probably reasonable. I would also probably lean towards the under more than anything, especially early in the series. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2. And my thoughts on that is that the bullpens are fresh, and that if this game here was a close ball game for both of these starters, you're going to get some of the better relievers to come in at the back end on a full few days rest. So 2-2 it remains here to Nakano, batting from the left side against Arihara, who kicks and delivers. Pitches a fastball swung on. It's grounded over to second. Makihara comes in, fields it with one hand, throws to first, and that is going to retire Nakano on a ground out. 4-3 for the second out of the inning. So 2 Tigers up and 2 Tigers down. And that is going to leave it up to the right fielder in Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita, during the regular season, he had himself a pretty solid campaign. Between him and Teraki Sato, the 2 hitters really fed off of one another. Morishita hit .275, 23 homers, and 89 runs batted in. Batting from the right side as the first offering from Arihara is delivered. It's a fastball swung on and tap foul just past the third base coach's box, and the count is 0-1 to Morishita. We plan to be on the airwaves for all of the games in this series. Tigers are wearing the road grays with the yellow trim. I kind of like this uniform. It's an interesting piece. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is hammered, and it's fair down the left field line. It's going to be extra bases. Morishita rounds first. He's heading into second, and he's going to cruise in safely with a 2-out double. And that is the first hit of the ball game, as Morishita was able to punch it right by the third baseman Nomura, as he's got the first extra base hit of the 2025 Nippon Series. And that is going to bring up Teraki Sato to the plate. Sato hitting .277 on the regular season. He had 40 homers and 102 runs batted in. And so it could go one of two ways. He is prone to the strikeout. And certainly when I think of a couple of years ago when the Hanshin Tigers were in the finals and they had the battle against the Oryx Buffaloes, Sato really struggled in the series. And really a key to the Tigers' success in winning that was the bottom 3 hitters in their batting order. They just produced like crazy in the series. Fastball misses outside and the count's 1-0 to Sato. Not a single import player in the starting lineup tonight for the Tigers. And that could also be said for the Fukuoka Ball Club as well. 2 all-Japanese lineups. There's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Waiting on deck is Yusuke Oyama. And so it won't get any easier as the veteran bat slots in nicely behind Sato. So 2 balls and no strikes. When you think of somebody who projects to be a major leaguer, this would be one here. Really tall, slender, left-handed stick. Pitch on the way. Changeup swung on and missed. He was way out in front. The count now is 2-1 to Sato. Our friend M. Schroeder, who's in the chat, points out that Hanshin did have a 3-run homer in the first inning and only one other run for a under of 4.5 in the last series. I think that the pitching will be, for both clubs, pretty good here tonight. And not just tonight, certainly throughout the course of the series. as that fastball was swung on and lifted into the temporary seating down the left field line foul. I say that because Fukuoka, as an example, they had 4 starters that all had double-digit wins. I was looking today earlier, and it happened about 20 years ago in 2005. Caught my eye because Tsuyoshi Wada, the left-hander who retired after last season, was one of those pitchers. 20 years ago, it happened again. So here comes the 2-2 pitch to Sato. Arihara holds set. He checks the runner Morishita at second. And it is a changeup swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As we mentioned, we'll be on the airwaves tonight. We'll be back again tomorrow. Then the series shifts in the middle of the week to Osaka, where the Hanshin Tigers will play host. The first 2 games of the series should go off without a hitch. The first 2 games in Hanshin, or in Osaka, where the Tigers play. But it's the 3rd game of the series that will be in doubt because they are calling for some rain, and that would be tough sledding for these ball clubs. Here's the pitch. And there's a fastball swung on and missed, and Sato is in the books. He's gone for the 3rd out of the inning. And the Tigers, they leave a runner in scoring possession, but they aren't able to score. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left aboard. We're through a half inning. Your score is the Tigers, nothing, and the Hawks coming to bat. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Yanagita, Shudo, and Yanagamachi to come to the plate to face the starter Shoki Murakami here in the bottom half of inning number 1. Friend M. Schroeder said, who's got the better bullpen? You know, it's almost a toss-up here in this one here. I'd like to say if the Hawks were at full strength, I might give the nod to Fukuoka. But no Roberto Osuna. He was not added to the roster. He's got a shoulder impingement. He didn't participate in the last series, in the Climax series, and he has not been added as well tonight. As we mentioned, there are a couple of additions, as one of the additions is in the lineup tonight, and that is Kensuke Kondo, who gets the start as the designated hitter. He did not see any action. Also notably by his absence is Hotaki Yamakawa not getting the start in this one here. Jeter Downs also added to the bench, so those were 2 players that we noted. And then, of course, Kenta Imamiya, the longtime veteran shortstop, not playing a role in this one here tonight, but I would expect at some point we'll see him in the series. Well, the tune-up tosses for Murakami have been completed. It'll be Yanagita coming to the plate. He hit .288 during the regular season with 4 homers and 9 runs batted in. He bats from the left side here against the right-handed thrower Murakami, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken on the outside corner for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I think both of these teams here, the opportunity to get to Arihara, and they have to find a way to get to Murakami here in the first inning, as that both the starters settle down. It is going to be a long haul as that fastball misses inside. It's 1-1 to Yanagita. Murakami kicks and he delivers. Fastball just misses inside. The count goes to 2-1 on Yanagita. First game of the Japan series. Last night, the first game was Major League Baseball, the Blue Jays and the Dodgers. The Blue Jays flexed their muscles with 9 runs in the 6th inning to knock off the vaunted Dodgers. There's a fastball that misses inside, and the count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and a strike. Yanagita waggling the bat as he slows it down. Here's the pitch from Murakami. Fastball misses upstairs, and the Hawks get their leadoff man aboard with a leadoff walk here to Yanagita, and that is going to bring up the center fielder in Yukio Shudo. Well, defensively tonight for the Tigers, from left to right field, it is Shimada is in left, Chikamoto is in center, Morishita is in right. Around the horn from first to third, Oyama's at first. It is Nakano at second. The shortstop is Obata. At third, it's Sato with the battery of Murakami and Sakamoto. Yanagita establishes his lead. The veteran over at first. Got to keep your eye on Shudo. He can run and he can bunt. And we'll see if the Hawks will start playing small ball straight away. And Murakami steps off the backside and feigns a throw over to first. You'll see that sometimes. What they'll do is they'll just step off the rubber to see if there is any intention of the batter squaring to bunt, which he tipped off nobody in that particular situation. So here comes the pitch to Shudo on its way. Swings, grounded to the right side into the four-hole. A nice play there by Nakano as he had to go deep into the four-hole, and he throws to second to get Yanagita on the force. That's going to be a fielder's choice. It's going to go into the books at 4-6 for the putout. Shudo is safe at first on the fielder's choice, and that's going to bring up the right fielder in Tetsuro Yanagamachi. Well, for Yanagamachi, he enjoyed arguably the best year of his career. He hit .292, 6 homers, and 50 runs batted in. But that was a bit of a wasted effort there by the Hawks. I would have thought that Shudo, now mind you, he can run, and there is a good chance that he's going to be put in motion here. But I would have thought that they might have considered bunting along Yanagita. And so there is first pitch fastball that misses up and away to Yanagamachi, and the count is 1-0. And certainly want to challenge Sakamoto straight out of the gate. This is the time to do it. So 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander Murakami holds set, now delivers. Fastball down, the runner's on the way, the throw down to second, not in time. And Shudo's got himself the first stolen base of the 2025 Japan Series. And that pitch there looks like it's going to be 2-0 to Yanagamachi. I don't think he swung at the pitch. So 2 balls and no strikes. It goes to the right fielder of the Hawks. The pitch was a breaking ball that was down. Nice job there by Sakamoto to try to come up and throw all in the one motion. But the throw was not in time. Tagged by Obata on the backside of Shudo. So now Shudo establishing his lead at second base. 2 balls and no strikes to Yanagamachi. As the right-hander Murakami works to the set, now delivers. Fastball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 3-0. Kensuke Kondo waiting his turn on deck. As we mentioned, he did not see any action in that series against the Fighters. So I'm a little bit curious to see how he will play out in this one here tonight. He didn't play regularly. He had some back issues. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 3-1 on Yanagamachi. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander against the left-hander. Murakami working himself to the belt. Checks the runner at second. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains full to Yanagamachi. The Japan Series, and sometimes people will ask, is it will go 12 innings. The games can end in ties. And the series, and effectively, it's the first team to get to 4 victories would be the winner. And it could go, in essence, to an 8th or maybe even a 9th game in the event that that was to happen. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on, and it's lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. And the count remains at 3-2. And when you look at the history of the Nippon Series, or the Japan Series, as we would call it, You have to go back for a while to see when the last tie had occurred. If I'm not mistaken, it had to involve the Hiroshima Carp. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and Yanagamachi's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and it's going to leave it all up to Kensuke Kondo. And in a normal situation, I would say that with Kondo, I would expect that would happen. Actually, the last tie occurred in 2022. It was between the Buffaloes and the Swallows. There was a tie in that series as well. And then you go back to in 2018 when the Hawks and the Carp had a tie in that matchup. Well, this brings Kondo to the plate. A healthy Kondo can be a difference maker in the lineup for the Hawks. As the first pitch coming from Murakami, and the fastball misses up and in, and the count is 1-0. Kondo, in a lot of ways, considered to be one of the best hitters in the Pacific League, but he is on the wrong side of 30. Getting a little bit long in the tooth. Former Hokkaido Nippon ham fighter, batting from the left side here against the right-hander. They're trying to keep Shudo close. They don't want to let him score from second on a base hit to the outfield. He can run. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses up and away. Count is 2-0. Waiting his turn on deck is Ryoya Kurihara. So 2 balls and no strikes to Kondo. Surprised we haven't had people coming in asking where they can watch this game. Well, it is on the Tokyo broadcast station, I do believe, tonight. Fastball misses down. That's going to be 3-0 to Kondo as they are picking up the feed. I don't know if they have the feeds for all the series, but TBS is certainly one of them. Schroeder says, struggling with the zone. Yeah, he's gone full to one batter, falling behind 3-0 here. And as we say, usually it's an inning or so to get himself sorted. Already 16 pitches here to the Hawks hitters. 3-0 on the way. Fastball, and Kondo gets the green light and swings and fouls that one away. Looked like he was dialing up. There's not too many guys that'll get that 3-0 count, but that is certainly a hitter right there who is geared up, ready to go. So 3 balls and 1 strike to Kondo. Lots of photographers in attendance tonight. And it's funny, when you look at the photographers, they're all got the helmets on down the side. Breaking ball swung on. This is going to be lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats over on the third base side, and the count is full to Kondo. Our friend Joe says he'll get the replay on Next Level Sports. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly who's picking it up. Some folks were saying Friends to Friends stateside, I think, was doing that. I don't think DAZN was carrying it. In fact, I don't think DAZN's carrying any of the Japan series, but I could be wrong. Here's the 3-2. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 3-2 to Kondo. As I said, I do believe the first 2 games of the series are TBS. And then after that, I'm not 100% sure. So 3-2 to Kondo as he taps both sides of the plate, waggling the bat. Waiting on the pitch here from Murakami. What I do also anticipate is that these games are going to go a little longer. I found that the transitions in between innings are a little bit longer as well. Here comes the 3-2. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And rounding third and heading home is Chikamoto, as he's going to get the first run of the ball game. And Kondo picks himself up an RBI and has opened the scoring here with a 1-0 early lead here. And that'll bring up the first baseman in Ryoya Kurihara. Friend M. Schroeder said this game's going to take 4 hours. I would say that I would not bet against that. I wonder if they have an over-under for the length of time in the game, because whatever it is, it would be probably the over. I think it's about 3 hours and 6 minutes is the average 9-inning game in the NPB. They used to keep tabs on their main website. First pitch fastball swung on. This ball is going to be hit into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Kondo's going to throw on the brakes as Kurihara's got himself a single. So the second hit of the inning here for the Hawks, back-to-back hits, and that's going to bring up the shortstop in Hikaru Kawase. So the hit parade here is on for the Hawks. That is good news if you are a fan of the Fukuoka Ball Club. But if you are pulling for the Tigers, it's not a good early sign for their pitcher or for their bullpen. So Kawase steps to the plate. He's batting .263 on the year, a couple of homers and 23 runs batted in. Hawks are circling like sharks smelling blood as Kawase waits here on the offering from the right-hander. Runner at second, Kondo. Runner at first, Kurihara. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. Count is 1-0 to Kawase. Sami Demurda followed here in inning number 1. Friend M. Schroeder thinking the 5.5 is already cooked. Long ways to go. Long ways to go. They could settle right down and not sniff another run for the next 8 innings. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike. I want to say didn't like that as he bends at the knees. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Crowd is in good voice and good form tonight in Fukuoka. Again, the right-hander kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that's up in the zone and swung on and fouled away. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Murakami got away with a pitch there. That breaking ball was a hanger. Kawase, if you're going to hang a pitch, he's the guy to hang it to because he's not exactly known for his power. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Kondo establishes his lead over at second base. The 1-2 forthcoming. Pitch, fastball just misses under the hands, and the count goes to 2-2. Oh, the catcher Sakamoto wanted it as much as Murakami did. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Has not thrown enough strikes here in this one. 13 balls and 12 strikes by our counts. On 25 pitches. Here comes pitch number 26 of the inning. On its way. Split finger pitch swung on and lifted foul down the left field line. The count remains at 2-2. That's another thing too, is when you start getting into the pitch counts, ratcheting up the pitch counts, especially early on in the ballgame, can take a steam out of the pitcher. Murakami gets a new baseball. He's ready to go out again. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Kawase. Hawks already on the board with a 1-0 lead as Murakami works himself to the belt. Here comes the 2-2. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on, popped up, foul over on the third base side. Moving over is Sato, and he thinks about scaling the fencing, but the ball is going to drift into the seats, and the count's going to remain at 2-2. Friend Ed Schroeder says this is like the Dodgers forgetting where the strike zone is. Yeah, I don't know if I think the Dodgers will figure it out pretty quickly. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Murakami again with a new baseball in hand. Checks the runner, Kondo at second, pitches a fastball, and again Kawase fights it off and hits it into the seats, so the count remains at 2-2. This is going to be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up to Kawase, so he gets himself a quality at-bat here. And when you look at the number of at-bats here in the inning, they've sent 6 hitters to the plate. And as of right now, you've got 4 quality at-bats for the Hawks. That is a huge, huge piece. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. And Kawase is in the books. He's gone for the third out of the inning, and that will do it here for the Hawks in their half inning. They had they had 1 run in the inning on the benefit of 2 hits. There was no errors. There were 2 runners left aboard. Your score, as we are through 1 complete, it is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back with the call in just a couple moments on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. It is Hawks and Tigers when we return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. We were talking in the last half inning. When is the last time a Japan series has gone to 8 games? And by our records, it would be the Saitama Seibu Lions in 1986, knocked off the Hiroshima Carp 4 games to 3-1. There was a tie in the series. So it has been that long since they have gone to an 8-game series. Could potentially happen here in this one. It depends on how these 2 teams fare. As we mentioned, they play a 12-inning tie. From our records, or at least what we have been able to see in the records, the last time there were 2 ties in a Japan series. You got to go back to 1975 when the Hankyu Braves and the Hiroshima Carp tied twice. The Braves actually won that series 4 games to nothing. And by our counts, that is the only time that has occurred. Well, the first pitch delivered to Yusuke Oyama was taken for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. 20 pitches in the first inning for Arihara as he kicks and delivers. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count runs even to 1-1. Oyama hit .264 during the regular season, 13 homers and 75 runs batted in. Stands in on the right side, and the pitch is a breaking ball that catches the outside corner. The count now goes to 1-2 on the veteran first baseman of the Tigers. So here's the offering from Arihara, double pumps, and it's a split finger pitch in the dirt, fielded neatly by the catcher Umeno, and he's going to tag Oyama. That is the second strikeout of the ball game for Arihara, 1 in the books here in inning number 2. And that is going to bring up Kari Shimada. Well, for Shimada, he gets the start in left field here tonight. There was a bit of a platoon job in the last series. He's batted 129 during the regular season. He squares to bunt. He drops it down the third baseline. It's a good one. They're going to have to hurry to get him. Oh, and what a play it was. Nomura fields it on the run. Fires to first, a great stretch by Kurihara as he is going to be able to make the grab, and that is going to retire Shimada. That's going to go down as a ground out 5-3. He's out for the second out of the inning. Boy, that was good ball all the way around. A nice play there by the third baseman to throw on the run. The throw wasn't the best as the first baseman had to really hold on to the bag. It was more to the outfield side of the base. But a nice play there by Kurihara to hold on to record the out. That is going to bring the designated hitter, Nozuma Takatera, to the plate. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Batted .231 did Takatera during the regular season, 2 homers and 7 RBIs. As the pitch from Arihara on the way is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field, moving in and then back to his left, and making the catch is Shudo. And that is a quick inning here for the Tigers as they go in order 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the second inning. It is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Now, this is the kind of inning that'll help pick up the pace for sure. Hawks coming to bat when we return right after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the 7, 8, and 9 hitters to come to bat for the Hawks in their half of inning number 2, and that means Nomura, Amino, and Makihara to face the right-hander Shoki Murakami in his second inning of work. We were commenting in the last half inning about just how much that the amount of pitches that Murakami had to throw in inning number 1. It can really take the stuffing out of a pitcher. You hope he settles down here. It's 29 pitches in the first inning. The general rule of thumb is about 15 pitches per, as pitchers like to work in that sort of regard. Murakami having difficulty locating his pitches in that last half inning. And the first pitch on the way, fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1-0 on Nomura. Nomura batting from the right side here against the right-hander. Nomura made that pretty fantastic play in that last half inning. Fastball swung and grounded softly over to first. Oyama's going to field it. He wins the race to the bag, and that's going to be a ground out to 3 for the first out of inning number 2, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Takashi Umino. There was a lot of talk in the NBA this week about the gambling, of course, the arrest of Chauncey Billups, the coach of the Portland Trail Blazers, and a couple of other players, another assistant coach. And it brings me back to the problems that the Japanese league was dealing with at the beginning of the 2025 season. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike, as some of the players were asked to at least self-admit if they were gambling. And online gambling is illegal in Japan. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. And there were a number of players that were ultimately had raised their hand by the end of it. Some were not disclosed as to who they were. The pitch on the way, it is a fastball swung on. This is going to be looped softly over to the second baseman, Nakano, who's going to field it in shallow right field. And that is going to retire Amino for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, and that's going to leave it up to the second baseman and Taisi Makihara. As we mentioned, the gambling issue in basketball, especially in North America, the more gambling that there is in the scheme of things, there is more opportunity or potential that we're going to hear about some of this. Here's the first pitch. Oh, my goodness. That was an eephus pitch delivered up to the plate at 59 kilometers per hour. I don't even think that broke 40 on the radar gun, 40 miles an hour. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And that is a fastball swung on its grounded softly over to third. Sato's got to hurry to field it. It was a swinging bunt, and Makihara is going to be retired on a ground out. He's gone 5-3 for the third out of the inning, but the highlight of the inning was the frost on the ball that came down from Murakami. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. We're moving to the top of the third. It is 1-0 Hawks. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. And our good friend Tim is in the house. Glad you could be in here with us. I hope you are back in Canada. And if not, well, I hope you're enjoying the game from Japan.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back to everybody. Our friend Tim in the house and Juan Carlos as well. We appreciate you for popping in here tonight. And All Real says he is currently at Canada Station right now and listening to us give you the call of the game in English between the Hawks and the Tigers. And by my counts, it would probably be just after 7 o'clock p.m. local time. And Juan Carlos says, watching the game via the Japanese TV and listening to our call. Juan Carlos, I assume you're watching the Tokyo Broadcasting Station. I think that is the one that is there as well. So Arihara on the mound facing Seishiro Sakamoto, and the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. And the count is quickly 0-1. Sakamoto getting the start behind the dish tonight, hit .247 in the regular season with a couple of homers and 27 runs batted in. As the right-hander Arihara delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And the count now goes to 0-2. It's the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat in this inning. It's Sakamoto, Obata, and Chikamoto to come here to hit. As the right-hander kicks and fires, there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Oh, that ball had a lot of backdoor run on it. And Arihara is going to record his third strikeout of the night. The first out here in inning number 3 as Sakamoto's retired. And that is going to bring up the shortstop in Ryuhei Obata. Our friend Tim says he is cheering for the Tigers since they won against the Bay Stars. I don't know if a lot of Bay Stars fans might feel your same love, but I can appreciate that. There's a first pitch fastball to Obata taken for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Obata batting from the left side here, hit .223 in the regular season, 5 homers and 17 runs batted in. He takes a breaking ball down and in. Count goes even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on and missed. Count goes to 1-2. I have a feeling this series is going to be what I would say probably low scoring. And what I mean by low scoring, we might get one outlier that ends up in a different way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 1-2. But I do believe that we're going to see ourselves a series here that you can see games at 3-1, 3-2, 2-1, 2-0. And you got to scratch and claw run out somewhere. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on it. It's popped up on the left side. It's playable. Underneath it is the third baseman, Nomura. He's there to make the catch. And Obata is going to be retired for the second out of the inning. By our counts, that's 6 in a row now retired by the starter, Arihara. And I'll bring up the top of the order in Koji Chikamoto. Friend M. Schroeder said, you called it. They're starting to settle in. Yeah, absolutely. Well, as a kid, I used to always pull for as far as I'm concerned, I always used to pull for the American League teams. After the Detroit Tigers got KO'd, I always used to pull for the American League to beat the National League. Fastball, take it for a call and strike, and the count's 0-1 to Chikamoto. Lance Jenkinson in the house tonight, listening from Australia. We're glad you are here with us. As there's a fastball swung on, this ball's going to get lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So a 2-out single here by Chikamoto as he's aboard. That'll bring up the second baseman in Takuma Nakano. Glad you could make it in here, Lance, and glad you could get it up on your stream. I wonder who in Australia is actually carrying the game, if they are showing it live down there or if you're having to stream it. I mentioned earlier the Tokyo broadcast system, or as the one that is taking care of at least the first 2 games in the series, and I forget who's going to be picking up the next 3. I don't know if it's NHK or not. All Real says the Blue Jays are cooking. Yeah, 1 game deep, and certainly 1 inning. As there's a ball that's thrown over to first base, and easily getting back is Chikamoto. Chikamoto can run a little bit. He had 32 stolen bases. He led the Central League in swipes this year. And then you've got Nakano, who finished 4th. He's right up to bat right now. So some heavy-duty speed at the top of the order. And to be honest with you, in this situation right here, I'd be running him. I'd be running him because if he makes it to second base, you got a chance to bang him home, obviously, with 2 out. If he doesn't make it, Nakano's basically, with his speed, another leadoff hitter. There's a breaking ball, take it for a called strike. And so you're always going to have some speed and somebody that's going to be able to set the table for the guys with the bats that are coming up in the 3, 4, and 5 spots. So no balls and 1 strike. Chikamoto again establishes his lead as the right-hander kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Chikamoto's got 1 foot on the turf, 1 foot on the dirt, as Arihara has come to the set position. And the runner feigns like he's going, but he stays at first, and it's a fastball that swung on and missed. Count now 1-2 to Nakano. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Our friend Lance says he's torn. He went to Japan last year and saw the Tigers and Hawks. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner. The only teams I've not seen alive in the Japanese league, I have not seen the Hawks, and I have not seen the Eagles. There is a split-figure pitch swung on. It's grounded over to third. Fielding it on the run is Nomura. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Nakano. It's a ground-out 5-3 for the third out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Tigers in their half of inning number 3. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom half of inning number 3. Your score is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel when we return after this. Appreciate you for all listening in with us tonight. We'll be back in just a few after this timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the top of the order to come to bat here for the Hawks in inning number 3. That means Yanagita, Shudo, and Yanagamachi. Our friend M. Schroeder said he went to Fukuoka for the first time this spring. He said it's so different from the big 3 cities. My plan actually was to go to Korea this past year and then take either the helifoil or one of the ferries from Busan over to Fukuoka. But I ended up not having the time to do it, and it didn't make the time to do it because the World's Fair or the World Expo was going on in Osaka. And the first pitch fastball misses up. They appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say Yanagita didn't go. And it's 1 ball and no strikes to Yanagita. 36 pitches through 2 innings for the right-hander Murakami as he kicks and fires. Fastball swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 1-1. The hotel prices in Osaka this past year was absolutely crazy. As the 1-1 pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on it. It is popped up into shallow left field. Moving back underneath it with room to make the catch is the shortstop, Obata. And there is 1 gone here now in the 3rd inning, and that'll bring up the center fielder in Yukio Shudo. Well, Shudo has accounted for the only run of the ball game thus far. He bounced into a fielder's choice his first time up. He then stole second, and he came home on an RBI single off the bat of Kensuke Kondo. And so he has given the Hawks a early 1-0 lead. Fastball that misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0. Our friend M. Schroeder said lots of Korean tourists. I pivoted and went to Taiwan this year instead, just because of some of that stuff. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 1-1. And of course, this year in another 51 days, but who's counting? I think it's 51. Be on my way back to Taiwan en route to Vietnam. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats down the left field line, and the count goes to 1-2 on Yukio Shudo. Getting a chance to see Southeast Asia as much as possible. There's a fastball that swung on it, is golfed into shallow center field, and Shudo is aboard for the 2nd time tonight, this time via a single. So he has got himself aboard. That's going to bring Tetsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. So all eyes on Shudo in this situation. And it was actually a split-figure pitch. It wasn't a breaking ball. It was down, and he just stuck the bat out and was able to coax it into center field. Lance says he's thinking about Korea next year. He's been to Japan the last couple of years. Really enjoyed my time in Japan. I've been a few times. But I'm really interested to see what Vietnam has to offer. So I'm going to be spending most of my time in the central and the south. Here's the pitch. Fastball just misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Yanagamachi. Not much baseball expected in Vietnam. I don't expect much of that. I guess volleyball is a big sport there. All Real says he doesn't like those little bloopers. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Yanagamachi. In this situation here, I would think that this could be a good hit and run count to be in. I don't know if I'd put the straight steal on or maybe a run and hit. Yanagamachi has been swinging the bat well this year. Probably going to get himself a good pitch to hit. And here comes the 2-0, but they fire over to first base, and Shudo comes diving back to the bag. So 1-0 for the Hawks. Friend M. Schroeder says he's a web anime guy. There's a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Yanagamachi. So he has an annual trip. Yeah, I walked around in Akihabara. A lot of stores, a lot of anime stuff. I'm not into that stuff, but I Found it amusing, I guess, is the way I would put it. Fastball taken for a called strike. Count goes to 2-2. Interesting to look at. Nothing wrong with it. People obviously are into that. It's quite large, and I had good fun in walking around and taking a look. It's just some of the things that they had to offer on display. Again, they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is Shudo. So 2 balls and 2 strikes to Yendo Gamachi. Shudo's the runner at first, 1 gone here in the 3rd. As the right-hander Murakami ready to go again. And again, they throw to first, and again, diving back is Shudo. Lance says, from Australia, he says, a lot of people travel to Asia and everybody loves Vietnam. Yeah, they say the people are super duper friendly. So I'm looking forward to that aspect of it for sure. Here's the 2-2. And again, they throw over to first base, and Shudo again diving back. This in itself could be another good pitch to run on here. We'll see if Murakami is quick to the plate. Checks the runner at first. Here's the pitch. The runner fakes like he's going, and it's a fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Oh, yeah, I don't think Yana Gamachi liked that one. That pitch looked like it was well off the outside corner. And he's going to be out for the 2nd out of the inning. And I have to say, it looked like it was started in the heart of the plate, and then it looked like it just had broken outside. And Yana Gamachi just turned and walked away. He's gone for out number 2, and that's going to bring Kensuke Kondo to the plate. So almost a similar situation as they throw over to first base, and again, getting back in time is Shudo. Our friend Tim says he went to Fukuoka and got a chance to see the stadium, but never went in. And there's a breaking ball that just misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Kondo. What a lot of people don't realize in Fukuoka, it is a retractable dome. I think I can't tell you how many games over the last 5 years that we have witnessed or we've called, and I've only seen the dome open one time, and I had no idea it was retractable. Had to go back and take a look at it, and it sure was. There was a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. I just figured it was like the Osaka Dome or the Kyocera Dome. You know, just a regular old dome, or like the Tokyo Dome or the Nagoya Dome, the Vantolin Dome or wherever else. But I would be more than happy to see this thing open up. Fastball, he's taken for a called strike, and the count goes to 1-2. MCT Dread in the house tonight. He says he'd like to go to Guangzhou to see the Kia Tigers play. Also wants to see the Hanshin Tigers at the Koshin. Thanks for joining us tonight. As they throw again over to first base, and diving back again is Shudo. What I'd like to see is I'd like to see a Japanese club come across maybe for spring training in North America. Do it in Arizona, get some of the exhibition games to be played before they start their season. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball taken for a called 3rd strike. Back-to-back strikeouts looking, and that is going to do it. Kondo's gone for out number 3, and Murakami now starting to settle in himself. No runs in the inning, 1 hit, no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. Your score, as we are now a third of the way through this one complete, it is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back to continue to chat with the chat. Glad you guys can make it in on game 1 of the series, and we'll be back in just a few after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. You want to learn about Japanese baseball? See Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. Yes, we do. And we also want to introduce you to our friend Steve Rademacher, who will be lurking around here at some point. Don't forget to go check him out after the game and let him know that Last Raps Baseball sent you.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name, and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat for the Tigers here in inning number 4. Morishita, Sato, and Oyama to face Kohei Arihara, who's at 41 pitches through his 3 innings of work. And the right-hander kicks and delivers a first-pitch fastball that is belted well down the left field line, but is going to hook foul. The count is quickly 0-1 to Morishita, so I guess whatever you do, if you're Kohei Arihara, don't throw that pitch again. That ball was absolutely obliterated. So no balls and 1 strike to Morishita. Morishita's 1 for 1 tonight. He doubled his first time up. The Tigers have 2 hits in the first 3 innings, and Morishita has 1 of them, as there's a split finger pitch down in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As North America is slowly waking up, we're glad you guys could join us. We're in the top of the 4th inning. Our friends from Australia have checked in. I'm surprised our European friends haven't made it in here yet, as there's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and the count goes to 1-2. But I know for sure that there are a lot of folks that will be taking in this series as it moves along. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. And the pitch is a split finger pitch that is swung on and missed. And Morishita's in the books. He has gone for the first out of the inning, and by our counts, that is going to be strikeout number 4 recorded by Arihara tonight. As that is going to put Morishita in the books for out number 1 here in the 4th. That is going to bring the third baseman Teraki Sato to the plate. Well, for Sato, he's 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out back to end the first inning. And the pitch is a fastball that just misses down and away. And the count is quickly 1-0. Sato, as we mentioned earlier in the stream, he has a propensity to strike out a lot. We'll have to see how he fares here tonight. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball that misses down. Count that goes to 2-0. M. Schroeder says, Japan is so mainstream here now, I think it would be cool to have Japanese teams in the U.S. for exhibition games. Yeah, I think that would be kind of neat. You go back into the 50s, and I found it interesting. The Detroit Tigers actually did a whole spring training in Japan. That would have been a fastball swung on it is grounded, taken on a hop by the first baseman, Kurihara. He underhand flips it to the pitcher covering, and Sato's going to be retired on a ground out 3-1 for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. That'll bring up the first baseman in Yusuke Oyama. As I mentioned, that would have been in the era of Al Kaline, which would have been probably in the late 50s. And there were other teams that did a tour, and it wasn't just a tour. They did their full spring training in Okinawa, and they literally played like a 35 to 40 game spring training schedule against the Japanese teams. It was pretty amazing. I had no idea. When I was at the Japanese Hall of Fame, I was kind of tipped off to some of that. If you get a chance to go to the Hall of Fame, it is at the Tokyo Dome. It's only 600 yen, so that's about $5 US. There's a first pitch split finger taken for a called strike. The count's 1-1 to Oyama. Oyama 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his only trip to the plate. As Arihara kicks and delivers, it's a fastball that comes inside, and the count goes even to 1-1. Our friend Allreal says he's going to go to quite a few Bay Star exhibition games next season. It's interesting how they do it. Their training camps, a lot of them are down in Okinawa, as there's a ball that's grounded over to third, fielded neatly by Nomura. He throws to first, and that's going to be a quick inning here as the Tigers go in order 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the fourth inning. Your score is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers no score. Stick around, everybody. It is turning into a pitcher's duel, but we'll be back in just a few after this. Our friend MCT Dredge says, have you ever been to the Koshin Museum? I've been to the Koshin outside, never been into the museum. It was a game day against the Bay Stars. I didn't have a ticket, and I didn't stick around. So I'll be back to talk about more when we return right after this.
Hello? Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game. Really exciting. Lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in. Check them out. Leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Lance says he went to the Koshin, and they had 30 seats set aside for international tourists. Unfortunately, the game I got to, it was a problem. And I had... unfortunately, was the only stadium I was not able to get tickets for. I've been to 8 of the 13 stadiums, or 9 of the 13 stadiums in the NPB. As there's a first pitch fastball delivered to Ryoya Kurihara, swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1. 52 pitches through 3 innings for Morishita. As the right-hander delivers, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Moving back and just in front of the warning track is Morishita as he calls everybody off. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Kurihara for the first out of the inning. That'll bring up the shortstop in Hikaru Kawase. And it was actually the Bay Stars were in town, and it was the night that I think it was the night that Trevor Bauer was supposed to pitch. This is 2 seasons ago, and actually that game that Bauer did pitch, he ended up getting hurt and ended up pretty much ending the season. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Kawase. So I didn't get a chance to see Bauer pitch that night or anything else. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count's 0-2. Our friend Robert Crago in the house. Welcome to the stream, Robert. He says he's planning a month-long trip to Japan next year. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball swung on and fouled away, as he is a Tigers fan in Michigan and in Japan. He wanted to see some more stadiums, only the Tokyo Dome and Koshin many times. And if I had to give you the stadium that I really enjoyed, as there's a fastball down in the dirt and the count is 1-2 to Kawase, I personally really enjoyed the stadium where the Carp play. Of course, that's I think that's the most recent stadium. That's kind of cool. In a unique sort of way, I really like where the Saitama Seabu Lions play. The Lions play in an old stadium that they actually put the dome on the stadium in the late 90s. Took a couple years to construct it. And it looks like a spaceship has landed on the stadium as that ball is lifted foul down the left field line. Count 1-2. The stadium in Chiba is actually pretty nice, but to me, it's multi-purpose. It could be anything. It could be a soccer field or a rugby field. I think they missed the boat on being modern, making a baseball stadium, as there's a fastball that misses up and away. And then, of course, the Jingu Stadium where the Swallows play, enjoy it while it's there. They're talking about tearing it down and making condominiums. A lot of people are up in arms that they're going to lose a cultural heritage site. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to get lined into center field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So Kawase is aboard with a 1-out single. And that is going to bring the third baseman Isami Nomura to the plate. So if you're planning to go for a month, you can knock off all the 5 stadiums in the Tokyo area pretty quick. The only ones I haven't been up into the Sendai region or in Tohoku or in Sapporo, that area there. And that would be to see the Fighters and the Eagles. I think that would be fascinating. I just didn't really want to waste time unless I flew up into that area. Taking the train to get up there is a bit of a haul. Then they're not supposed to have a high-speed train set up for that part of the country for another 5 or 6 years. As there's a split finger pitch and misses down, and the count's 1-0 to Nomura. Nomura 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded to first his only time up. So 1 ball and no strikes. As the right-hander ready to deliver. And now he steps off and fakes the throw over to first. Our friend M. Schroeder said he agrees the carp as a modern one. The Saito Cebu Lion crowd, actually, they're okay. They're into it. There's a fastball that swung on and missed by Nomura, and the count's 1-1. I think the Chiba fans, to be honest with you, are probably much more entertaining to watch. The Chiba fans are rather rabid. I saw the Lions play in Chiba a couple of years ago, and I actually was supposed to go see the Hawks play Chiba, and it would have been Roki Sasaki going for the Marines. As there was a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep right field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the warning track, but making the catch up against the wall is Morishita. And that is going to retire Nomura. Oh, he sent it a long way. He just didn't send it long enough. As he just got under that for the second out of the inning. Boy, he went the other way with it. And I thought just the way it was traveling and carrying, it had a chance. But right to the warning track it was as Morishita hauls it in. And that is going to bring the catcher Takashi Amino to the plate. Robert says he's getting the 2-week JR pass. And there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Our friend Lance says he caught a ball at the Baystar Stadium. He was a local celebrity for 15 minutes. Yeah, probably if they blew the whistles too. It's usually what they do is they blow the whistles or they announce that the foul ball is coming after it's already landed. There's a fastball that is swung on and missed, and the count's 0-2 to Amino. 2 gone here in the bottom of the 4th inning. The runner Kawase is at first. Hawks are enjoying a 1-0 lead here. It's got to a point where there hasn't been a whole lot of action on the base paths. And when there has, it's usually come with 2 out. There's a fastball up in the zone that's taken for a ball, and the count goes to 1-2. Robert said he's going to get a 2-week JR pass. One thing I will say, though, is you might want to take a look at the regional passes, depending upon where you're going. And it may be more cost-effective for you that way. There's a fastball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it. Amino is going to be retired on strikes. And that is going to do it here for the Hawks in their half of the 4th. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left the board. We're now through 4 innings. Your score is Fukuoka 1, the Hanshin Tigers no score. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. We'll continue the chat with the chat. Glad you guys can make it in with us tonight on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. We are moving ourselves to the top half of inning number 5, and slated to come to bat will be Shimada, Takatera, and Sakamoto to hit for the Tigers. Our friend Lance says that the JR passes are really costly now. I've heard they've jumped up in price. I went a couple of years ago and I was able to get mine before the spike in the price. I've heard they've almost doubled in price. He says he found it really easy enough buying it on the go. I know when I've just been to Tokyo, I haven't bought the passes. I think the last pass I bought would have been in 2023. As the pitch is on the way, it is a changeup that comes in for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Shimada. Shimada tonight grounded out to third, his first and only trip up. As the pitch is on the way, and that was actually a bunt that was laid down, but he couldn't beat it out. Fastball misses inside. The count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Arihara delivers again. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Arihara gets the baseball again. I always find it fascinating when I watch pitchers how their glove work is, how they work it to the glove, how they hold it. As the 2-1 is on the way, it's a fastball swung on and is grounded just foul down the first baseline. The count now goes to 2-2. Arihara, when he holds the ball, he holds it outside of the glove. And then what he does is he brings it in and comes into the set position that way. Haven't been able to detect how he manipulates the ball while he's got it in the glove. 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded on the backhand by Makihara. His throw to first is not going to be in time. It's going to be an infield single here for Shimada. He runs particularly well. As we noted his first time up, he can really get down the line. So you'll take the hits any way you can get them right now, as that is going to be the 3rd hit of the ball game for the Tigers. Makihara really didn't have any chance. He was swung into the 4-hole a little bit, had to go up the middle to field it, threw off of one leg, and really didn't have any mustard on the throw by any stretch. So that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Nozomu Takatera. We're talking a little bit at the outset of this game about maybe who would be the favorite, who would be possibly the ones that would be, what would be the things that would be an advantage for one team over the other. And certainly the designated hitter, having somebody to hit all year long for you, is definitely that. You can pay for a bat. First pitch fastball taken for a called strike. Friend Robert Krago says it's now $5.50 for a 14-day. As they throw over to first base and diving back in time is the base runner. Our friend Lance asks, do you think that we'll ever get Pacific League TV or better still in an NPB streaming service available internationally? Well, as the pitch is a split figure pitch waved at and missed, the count goes to 0-2 on Takatera. My big beef is when I was at the Tokyo Dome, it was funny. The fella had come up to me wanting to know if I was interested in getting the Giants online. Then he was handing me their literature, and I'm like, why don't you guys broadcast it in North America? If there you have quite an audience. And when you figure about people who get pirated feeds, as there's a fastball that misses down and the count is 1-2, people that are willing to pay, let's say $5 a month over the course of a season, that's $30 a year. That's revenue that the NPB or the Japanese teams just aren't getting. And I know $30 doesn't sound like a whole lot, but when you think about buying music for $1 on iTunes, it starts to add up after you have a bunch of consumers buying a song here and a song there. Same thing with baseball. There's a fastball down to the dirt. There goes the runner down to second. The throw is not going to be in time, and Shimada is going to get himself a stolen base. He moves himself into scoring position. I have to do a double check on that. It looks like it's going to be 2 balls and 2 strikes. So now the Tigers with their first threat of the ball game since the first inning when Morishita was left stranded at second with the double. So the 5th inning is always an inning to watch in the NPB because that is an inning where I always say the gamblers or the gambling sites know what's the over-under for the first 5. And this is where lots of runs can pile up in a big hurry. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed. And Takatera's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher and Seishiro Sakamoto. Lance Jenkinson says he'd be more than happy to pay $100 a year. Hem Schroeder said, remember when everybody in the summer 2020 was following the KBO as it was the only sport around that they could throw their money down on? Yeah, for sure. But the teams in particular, I believe, that are the ones that are the problem are in particular, the Tigers, the Giants, and the Swallows. As that fastball misses up and in, the count is 1-0. I think the Carp, I think the Dragons, and I think the Bay Stars are what I would consider more progressive teams in that manner in the Central League, maybe to want to get together to put together a league-wide TV or a streaming type service. There's a breaking ball. I'll take it for a called strike. Count is 1-1 to Sakamoto. But I just don't know if those other teams like the Giants or the Swallows or the Tigers would want to take that plunge. There's an archaic way of thinking with those teams. At least that's what it would appear, at least reading between the lines through the media. There's a split finger pitch swung on and missed, and that's going to run the count to 1-2 on Sakamoto. Lance says the KBO streams live free games. I've never really been interested in the KBO. I have really found it particularly hard to watch during the 2020 season as well. I'd get up early and I'd watch it, and I found the quality of the baseball where you have major league quality players on one team. You'd have another team that would have major league player, AAA player, and outfielders that were high school caliber. There's a ground ball hit to short. It's going to chase the runner Shimada back to second. They throw to first, and Sakamoto is going to be retired. A ground out 6-3. So 2 outs now here in the inning, and it's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Ryuhei Obata. And as Lance points out, the Hanshin Tigers do have paid services for home games. But that's unfortunate because, yeah, it's their home games, and then you got to pay, and it's not the league-wide, and then you got to go hunt and peck for their games on the road, and it's just really inefficient. Well, that brings Ryuhei Obata to the plate. He's 0 for 1. He had popped out to the third baseman his first time up. As Arihara holds to the set, now delivers. There's a fastball on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. If you've just joined us, the only run of the ball game was scored in the bottom of the first inning. It was Yukio Shudo was brought home on an RBI single off the bat of Kensuke Kondo. That is where we stand here with 2 outs in the 5th. The runner Shimada at second. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. On the way to Obata, it's a split finger pitch swung on, and it's going to be popped foul into the seats over on the third base side. And the count remains at no balls and 2 strikes. Arihara gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up. And he's ready to go back to the action again here. He gets the sign from his catcher, Imino. Here comes the 0-2. Split finger pitch swung on, lifted into center field, and it's going to go right to the glove of Shudo, and that is going to do it as Obata is going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning. At first, I thought that ball might loop down, but it did hang up enough in the air for Shudo to make an easy catch. And that is going to do it here for the Tigers in the 5th. No runs in the inning. There was a hit, no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. We're now halfway through the ball game. It is the Hawks 1 and the Tigers. No score. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action. Bottom of the 5th coming up after this timeout. Don't forget to join us for all the action as it is the Hawks and the Tigers. It is the Japan Series. We'll be back on again tomorrow for Game 2. Same time, same channel. We'll be right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Tori is in the house tonight. Glad you can make it in, but I'm not sure exactly what question that you're asking there. And so I don't know if I can answer it correctly. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Hawks. Here it'll be Makihara, Yanagita, and Shudo, as they will be facing the right-hander Murakami here in his 5th inning of work. 68 pitches through 4 innings for the right-hander. He has settled down since that rocky first inning. So the Hawks here clinging to a 1-0 lead in the 5th. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded to the right side. Nakano fields it on a couple of hops. Throws to first, and with 1 pitch, we've got 1 away here in the bottom of the 5th on a ground out 4-3. Taisi Makihara, who led the Pacific League in batting during the 2025 campaign, was really struggling in the Climax Series. He was downright terrible. Didn't have a hit until the last game of the series where he had a pair. Finally started to wake up, and he looks like he is back into the doldrums here again to start this series at 0 for 2. Brings Yuki Yanagita to the plate. The first pitch to Yanagita is a fastball that misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Yanagita walked his first time up, was raced in a fielder's choice, and has popped to short as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is going to get lined into right field. It's down for a base hit. So that is going to be the 5th hit of the night for the Hawks. And that is a one-out single here by Yanagita, and that'll bring up the center fielder in Yukio Shudo. Well, for Shudo, he has lived on the base paths here tonight. Bounced to a fielder's choice, stole a base, score a run, and he also had a single his last time up, so he has been aboard twice. He's officially 1 for 2. So Yanagita, the runner over at first, establishing his lead as the right-hander Murakami looks over, and now he comes to the set. Here's the pitch. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Shudo. Jake in the house, and he says that Fukuoka should be up 3-0 right now. Yeah, they had their chances. Certainly in the first inning, they could have pounded out a couple of more runs. I'm not sure if they would have got anything else in this one here. There's a fastball that misses outside. Count goes even at 1-1. Had that opportunity to bring home Kondo and Kurihara, and Kawase struck out. And Schroeder says, what's the count at? For Murakami, it's at 73. I have to go back and look at Arihara. There's a fastball that misses down and away. They say that Shudo didn't go, and the count now goes to 2-1. My math is correct. It should be 67 pitches for Arihara. Oh, Jake says referring to the last out of the last inning, or the second last out. Yeah, it probably should have been there as well. And maybe if you would have flipped Kawase's single with his strikeout in inning number 1, that would have been a better situation as well. There's a pitch that's taken for a called strike, and the count's 2-2 to Shudo. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Murakami getting the sign from his catcher. Looks over and checks the runner at first, and the 2-2 pitch coming here to Yukio Shudo. On its way. Fastball swung on, and he fights it off. Foul over on the third base side. 2 balls and 2 strikes. For those of you who have just joined us for all the action, all the runs, or the only run came in the bottom of the first inning for the Hawks. And just as a reminder, as they do, they take a 5-minute break in between the 5th and the 6th, and we will do it as well. 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. Count remains at 2-2. Some people say it's we like to call it the Japanese halftime. Basically, what it boils down to is I think the players go off and get a quick smoke break. They sneak down the tunnel, and the umpires do the same. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander Murakami again working to the set, and he steps off and fakes a throw over to first. Chasing Yanagita back to the bag. So again, here comes the 2-2 offering. As it is a breaking ball that misses way upstairs. Count goes to 3-2. Lance has asked the question, why are there 4 games in Fukuoka and 3 in Hanshin? Didn't the Tigers have the better record? I'm not sure if they do it that way. I think it's rotated every year. One team One year it's the Pacific League, one year it's the Central League. I might be wrong on that. Fastball swung on and lifted foul, and that's going to keep the count at 3-2. Jake says a smoke break. Well, that's what they do with the 5-minute break. Usually what they do is they'll shoot fireworks off. What they do is they come out and they clean the field, but it's notorious the players who smoke are the ones who scurry down the tunnel and are puffing away like crazy. They say the Korean players are the worst. They are the ones that smoke like chimneys. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. Fastball swung on and is popped up foul. Going to reach the seats. Keeps the count at 3-2. This is turning into a marathon at bat. It's going to be the 10th pitch coming up here to Shudo. I had a fellow who used to play for me. He was in the Boston organization. He was a teammate of Zue Lin's. Zue Lin is in the Chinese league now. And anyways, we were laughing about it and wanted to know if Lin is still smoking in the hotel bathrooms on the road. He was one of those guys that would get to the hotel bathroom, turn on the fan, and puff away. They said he smoked like a chimney. But that is the reputation that some of the Asian players bring with them. I don't know who else actually smokes, but it's kind of funny. There's a fastball swung on. This ball's belted into deep right field. This ball's going to be trouble. Back on the track is Morishita, and he's going to haul this one in against the wall. And they're going to throw it back into first, and retreating back just in time is Yanagita. Oh, that's the second time in as many innings that the Hawks have sent the ball right to the wall. And both times Morishita able to make the catch. And Shudo gone for the second out. Yanagita just able to make it back to first. Boy, I would not have picked Yukio Shudo in my pool to deliver a home run. He only had 3 during the regular season. Our friend M. Schroeder says about Eric Lauer. I think Lauer, isn't he with the Blue Jays now? Pitch on the way. There's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Tatsuro Yanagamachi. Yanagamachi 0 for 2 tonight. Both retired via the strikeout. Lance says if that fence was only a meter shorter, and if the swing was only another few more feet, that ball would have been gone. There is a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. And our Filipino friend is in the house tonight. He says the Japan Series and the World Series in the same month is a good day for baseball fans. Absolutely. We're glad you could make it in. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yanagamachi as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that just misses up and away. Count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and a strike. As the right-hander Murakami ready to go again. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses up and in, and the count's now 3-1 to Yanagamachi. I don't know if I want to take my chances with Kensuke Kondo coming to the plate. I think I'd rather have Yanagamachi try to hit his way on. Jake says he's got the Hawks in a bet. Yeah, I'm not sure where the runs are going to come from in this game anymore. This could end up, the scoreline could be 1-0 right here for you. Fastball swung on and grounded foul past the bag at first base, and the count 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Murakami gets himself a new baseball. He rubs it up, and we're ready to go at it again. Yanagita with a more respectable lead at first. He's got both feet on the dirt. Here comes the 3-2 on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. And that is going to bring Kensuke Kondo to the plate. And the Hawks are threatening here with 2 out in the 5th inning, as they now have moved Yanagita into scoring position. Our Filipino friend says he's a little sad that the Mariners didn't win. Well, we have a conference on the mound here as they are all in to talk to Murakami. Our friend Lance says that the MLB and NPB are perfect for Australian time zone. You get Jays and Dodgers at lunch, and you get the Hawks and the Tigers in the evening. Those are facts. So Kondo comes to the plate. He has driven in the only run of the game thus far. He had a single back in inning number 1, bringing home Shudo. He struck out looking in the 3rd inning, so he's got a chance to pound in another run here. Yanagita gets his lead over at second base. The right-hander Murakami works himself to the set. And here's the pitch. It's a fastball that comes inside, and the count goes to 1-0 on Kondo. Hawk fans are up and cheering. They're smelling blood right now. 88 pitches now for the right-hander. Got to make you wonder if Murakami will come out to sniff the 6th. And the 1-0 is on the way. There is a split finger pitch. It misses down and in, and the count goes to 2-0 on Kondo. Ryoya Kurihara waiting his turn on deck. Our friend M. Schroeder says that he's pulling a Snell. Yeah. Here's the 2-0. Breaking ball drops in for a called strike, and the count now 2-1 on Kondo. I wonder how much live pitching Kondo has seen over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, nothing in the last series. So 2 balls and 1 strike as the right-hander works to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball inside. Pulled right to the first baseman, Oyama, who fields it. Going to take it to the bag himself, and that is going to do it as Kondo's going for out number 3 on a ground out to first. Well, they threaten, but they don't score to the Hawks, and that's starting to become a theme in this one. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Hawks have stranded 6 through the first 5. Your score as we move to the top of the 6th, it is 1-0. We're going to 1-0 for the Hawks. We're going to take a little time out here. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in with us. We'll answer some more questions when we come back in just a bit. It is the Japanese halftime, as we like to call it, and we'll be back on the flip side in just a bit.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We're a little late getting back in the saddle as Koji Chikamoto is to lead it off here in the sixth inning against Arihara. The first two pitches were delivered for called strikes, and the count is quickly no balls and 2 strikes. Chikamoto 1 for 2 tonight has a single and 2 trips. He's also grounded back to the pitcher as there is a changeup that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. Just to answer some of the questions that were earlier there, our friend Jake asked the question. He says, but what does the pitcher normally go to? It really depends on who the pitchers are. You'll get guys in the regular season who go up north of 130 pitches in the Japanese league. As the 1-2 pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses outside. The count goes to 2-2 on Chikamoto. So I'm not really familiar as tight with the pitcher for the Tigers. I haven't seen Morishita pitch much this year. As there's a fastball swung on it, it's going to be lined past the glove of the diving shortstop and into center field as it's a base hit here for Chikamoto. And that is going to be maybe the fire starter that the Hawks need to get things going. It was a changeup left up in the zone, and he was a looping liner just past the glove of Kawase. As that got down into center field, if he was maybe another 6 inches taller, might have been able to make that play. So Chikamoto aboard here, and that's going to bring Nakano to the plate. You got to think that they got to start thinking about playing a little bit of small ball here, getting a bunt down to move along. One would have to think. So depending on the pitcher, they could go well north of 100. I would think that Arihara could go upwards of 110. At least that's in my eyes as they throw over to first base and getting back to the bag. Friend God is great in the house tonight. Glad you are with us, despite the fact that the Dodgers took one on the chin. Tori asked the question, who do you think's got the better pitching through the series? And do we think this might go 6 or more games? There goes the runner down to second. The throw is not going to be in time. It gets off the glove of Kawase, and it squirts into center field, a stolen base for Chikamoto. So he is going to get second base stolen. That was a ball to Nakano, so Nakano in a good hitter's count. So they've got the tying run over at second base now, do the Tigers. This is where Arihara is going to have to reach back and come up big with some pitches here. The throw from Emino was not the best. It bounced up on the turf, took a crazy hop. I was able to get by the shortstop into center field. So the runner at second base is Chikamoto. Nobody gone here as the 1-0 pitch coming to Nakano. He squares to bunt, and he gets it down the third baseline, and they're just going to let it roll, and it is not going to roll foul. It stays fair as Nomura has picked it up in fair territory, and that's going to be an infield single for Nakano. Advancing over to third is Chikamoto, and boy, the Tigers have something brewing now, as that is going to bring Shota Morishita to the plate. Ball had some English on it. I don't think that Nomura would have been able to throw him out, but the ball just ended up rolling and stopping right to the right of the foul line, which was in fair territory. So he is aboard is Nagano. That's going to bring up Morishita to the plate. Our friend Lance says, what a bunt. Yeah, if you're queued up and watching it. Yeah, absolutely. As a heck of a bunt. And our friend Jake says, this is how it begins. Hawks should be up by more than a run. Yeah, when you have the opportunities, you got to be able to cash in, so to speak. Well, Kohei Arihara got to wiggle out of the jam here. And here's the other thing. If this was Shinjo, the manager of the Fighters, we can anticipate a squeeze play in this situation. We saw that a couple of times. We saw one where they tried to squeeze two runners in there. The guy ended up being a double play where they threw the runner at second base out at the plate trying to score. So they got runners at the corners. Keep an eye on Nakano. He may run just to stay out of the double play. As Arihara steps off the backside and flips it over to first. Lance Jenkinson says the smoke break has worked out well for the Tigers. Absolutely. They came out puffing after the break. So Morishita waiting on the offering from Arihara, who kicks and delivers. It's a split figure pitch and misses down. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Waiting on deck is Teruaki Sato. I wonder what the live odds on this went up to with the last couple of events here. That would be for the live over-under. Maybe even the Tigers to win the game at this point. I wonder what the gambling houses are feeling now. There's a changeup that misses down, and that's now 2-0 to Morishita. Morishita is 1 for 2. He had that double his first time up and struck out his last time, but he has hit some balls hard foul. So 2 balls and no strikes. If you're just waking up on the East Coast and joining us, we're glad you guys can make it in. It is a 1-0 ball game. The Tigers are threatening here in the top of the 6th inning, looking to do some damage. Here's the pitch from Arihara. It's a changeup swung on. It is grounded foul just past the bag at third base. There's another one of those balls that Morishita is absolutely feasted on. That would have been one of them right there. He absolutely turned on it. That ball was not foul by much. Morishita not happy with himself. I think he wants that one back. And the veteran Arihara has a wry grin, knowing that everything is safe. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Right-hander leans in, gets the sign from his catcher, Omano. Yeah, the pitch on the way. Fastball taken on the inside corner for a called strike, and the count now even at 2-2. I just don't understand at this point why they haven't put the runner at first in motion. I just don't get it. You got Chikamoto, who led the league in stolen bases. He was able to steal. Nakano, who was 4th in the Central League, has been hugging the base. Bare minimum, it would help you stay out of a potential double play, either in this at-bat or with the Sato at-bat coming up to the plate. Assuming they able to reach safely. Here's the 2-2. Split finger pitch misses down. Arihara didn't like that one. That's now 3-2 to Morishita. So 3 balls and 2 strikes as the Morishita steps in here, taking a look, trying to get a picture of the infield and the outfield. The infield, it's very interesting. Now Nakano has made his way over to second base. I don't know if they're going to give him a stolen base on that last pitch, or if he advanced on the throw in the dirt. So that takes away a double play possibility. 3 balls and 2 strikes here to Morishita. Kohei Arihara needs to come up with a big strikeout right here. Here's the 3-2 on its way. Fastball, and that is going to be lifted foul. That had to be one of the harder pitches of the night we've seen from Kohei Arihara. He flung that one in at 94 miles an hour on the gun. Reared back and put a little something extra on it. The count remains full to Morishita. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As we said, Sato on deck, and then it's Oyama to follow. And I think if you can retire Morishita here, I think I'm going to walk Sato. Here comes the 3-2 pitch. And the pitch on the way. It is a fastball swung on, and this ball is grounded up the middle. It is fielded by the shortstop, Kawase, but that's going to get the run in, as it's going to be a ground out. It's going to retire Morishita 6-3. He gets an RBI. Crossing the plate is Chikamoto to tie the ball game at 1. Advancing over to third is Nakano. That's going to bring Teraki Sato to the plate. That was right on the fists. And the ball was grounded just to the left of second base. Able to field it, and the Tigers on the board to tie it all up at 1 here. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Sorry, 1 ball. 1-1's the score. I was looking at the balls and the strikes to Morishita. 7-pitch at bat. It was like back and forth, back and forth. That's a big RBI there for the right fielder of the Tigers. And that brings Sato to the plate, who is officially 0-for-2 tonight. He has struck out and grounded out. Runner at third is Nakano in this situation. I wonder if they'll put the runner to go on contact. Sato's got to make some contact. 0-for-2 tonight, struck out at ground out. Fastball up and in, backs him off the plate. The count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Well, we got ourselves a brand new ball game as we're all square here. Arihara getting his sign from his catcher. Sato waggling the bat. And here comes the 1-0. Changeup misses down. The count goes to 2-0. I was talking about this in one of the other streams. For those of you who are listening in tonight, we were talking about, I got the Oregon State pitching philosophy when Pat Casey used to be their head coach over there. And he used to talk about, if you don't throw a pitch 60% of the time for strikes, you don't really have a pitch. I was thinking tonight with Arihara, seems to struggle with his split finger pitch. There's another one down in the dirt. 3 balls and no strikes to Sato. They might as well just put that 4th finger up and walk him here. $85 pitches now for the Hawks right-hander. And as our friend Jake was asking earlier on, or saying, hey, where do you think they'll go with pitches? My guess is, at this point for Arihara, hard pressed to see him come out for the 7th. We'll have to wait and see what the manager decides. Here's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. It's going to get down, and that's going to get another run in. Fielding it is the right fielder, Yanagamachi, and he fires it in, and that is going to be a base hit here for Sato. And I think that might have been down for a double. I don't know if he was able to get into second base. Regardless, it brings Nakano in for the second run for the Tigers, and they have taken a 2-1 lead. Ball was cut off before it got into the gap. Just the configuration of the outfield here it was cut off by Yanagamachi. Couldn't tell if Sato has made his way over to second, but I do know he's got an RBI, and it is a 2-1 ball game here for the Tigers. And yeah, to you in the house with the Tiger logo. I said Arihara may not come out for the 7th. I'd be curious if he comes out, how much more he stays here. It was a double for Sato, so he is at second base with one gone. And it brings Yusuke Oyama to the plate. Oyama 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out and grounded out at his 2 trips. So just like that, we got ourselves a brand new ball game. Fastball taken for a called strike. It counts 0-1 to Oyama. So the Tiger fans are in a good mood here in Fukuoka. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded softly over to the pitcher. Fielded on his knees by Arihara. He throws to first. That's going to retire Oyama, and going over to third is going to be Sato. That's a ground out. It's going to be 1-3 on the putout. 2 gone here, and it's going to leave it up to the left fielder in Kairi Shimida. My friend Jake says, this is why you shouldn't gamble. Yeah, it's unfortunate, especially this past week. We were talking a little bit earlier on the stream about the NBA and just the amount of people that gambling is an addiction, and it's something that's tough. I think everybody in their family would know someone potentially in their family that maybe has that type of problem, and it's really, really too bad if you aren't able to control that impulse. There is a changeup that's taken for a called strike. Squaring to bunt was Shimada, but interesting that he's trying to bunt his way on for a base hit with 2 gone here in the 6th inning. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Shimada 1 for 2 today. He's got a single and a stolen base. And he also has a ground out as well. Now maybe we'll see Jake back in one of the future games as well. But the game is never over till it's over, as Yogi Berra once said. There's a fastball swung on it, has popped up over on the third base side. Underneath it is Shuto. He's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it as Shimada's gone for the 3rd out of the inning, but too little too late, really, for the Hawks in that inning. They scored 2 runs in the inning on the benefit of 3 hits, did the Tigers. No errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving to the bottom of the 6th inning. Your score is the Hanshin Tigers 2 and the Fukuoka Softbank Hawks 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a few with all the action right after this. We got ourselves a 2-1 ball game. The Tigers are now out in front, and we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action right after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is a 2-1 ball game. The Tigers have taken the lead here in the half inning, and we're glad you guys could make it in here with us tonight, as we will get that scoreline back up here for you. 2-1 Tigers it is. Coming to bat here for the Hawks in their half of the sixth inning, it'll be Kurihara, Kawase, and Nomura, as they will be coming to bat here to face the right-hander Murakami, who is coming out for his sixth inning of work. 91 pitches through 5. Not exactly the most economical for the right-hander, as the pitch is a fastball that misses down and away to Kurihara, and the count is 1-0. Kurihara, 1 for 2 tonight, has a single and 2 trips as he bats from the left side here against the right-hander. Pitch on the way, fastball swung on, lifted into straightaway center field. Chikamoto had to hold his ground, then he comes in and makes the catch. And there is one gone now in the bottom of the sixth. That is going to bring up the shortstop in Hikaru Kawase. Action in the Tiger bullpen. They have a right-hander and a left-hander up and throwing. I'll have to get you caught up on that as soon as that becomes available. As the right-hander Murakami delivers a first pitch fastball to Kawase, take it for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Yeah, the momentum has definitely shifted the other way now here for the Tigers, not just with the 2 runs. Even these at bats, you got to think that for the pitcher Murakami, this is the opportunity to come up and throw up a big 0 in the inning. Even though you're in the bottom part of the batting order, sometimes that's not easier said than done. Breaking ball, take it for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Kawase. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball swung on and sliced foul down the left field line, and going to reach the seats, and the count 1-2 remains on Kawase. As we said, there is some opportunities to come off the bench here for the Hawks. They've got Jeter Downs, they got Yamakawa, they got Imamiya, they got options that they could bring in. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It is going to be sliced to the shortstop, and it's going to be brought in by Obata for the second out of the inning. So weak contact here by the Fukuoka Ball Club. That puts 2 in the books, and it's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Hikaru Kawase. Just getting back to our friend Jake there earlier on, I have a feeling that this game here, just the way it's shaping up, I would not bat an eye that this one makes its way into extra innings. I just get that vibe. Here's the first pitch to Nomura. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. This is going to be the 100th pitch of the ball game coming up, and there is action in the Fukuoka bullpen. It looks like it is Fuji up and throwing, as the pitch on the way is changeup that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So Fuji, if he comes into the ball game, buckle up. We're going to be here for a while, because he is not exactly the quickest worker. As the 2-0 pitch is coming, there's a fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike it is. Morishita ready to go back to work. He kicks and he delivers. Fastball waved at and missed. The count now goes to 2-2 on Nomura. And I would guess this will probably turn into a battle of the bullpens after this half inning tonight. Murakami ready to go. Here comes the 2-2. He kicks and fires. It is a fastball taken for a called third strike. I'm not sure what Nomura was looking at, but that looked pretty good to us, as that is going to be the third out of the inning here in inning number 6. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the top of the 7th inning. Your score is the Tigers 2, the Hawks 1. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you for listening on the Last Rouse Baseball YouTube channel. Back in just a few.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the bottom three in the batting order slated to come to bat for the Tigers here in inning number 7. That means it's going to be Takatera, Sakamoto, and Obata to face the right-hander. Well, we think it's the right-hander Kohei Arihara, but they did have Fuji heating up in the bullpen. And we're just waiting to see if it is going to be the right-hander Koya Fuji making his way into the ball game. So we'll have to keep you posted on that. As we mentioned before, it is interesting that in this particular point in time now that they are not going like the North Americans are doing on how the game is really starts to, how do I say it? They start to go to the bullpens a little bit earlier, and that is not what we're seeing tonight. Well, it is going to be Koya Fuji coming into the ball game as he'll take over for Kohei Arihara, as he will be the second pitcher used tonight by the Hawks. So Fuji on in relief. He had some starts a couple of years ago, and then he ended up with a lat issue. He found his way back into the bullpen, and that is where he seems to have had most of his success with the Hawks. There's a first pitch fastball that misses outside. The count is 1-0 to Takatera. Takatera 0 for 2 tonight. He has flown out to center and has struck out in his 2 trips to the plate. And there is a fastball that misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. So Fuji, who throws very methodically, falling behind in the count, and now he will slow himself down even more. So 2 balls and no strikes as the right-hander again holds to the set, kicks and delivers. Fastball catches the inside corner under the hands, and the count goes to 2-1 on Takatera. Tonight's game 1. Tomorrow night is game 2. Same 2 teams. As the right-hander ready to deliver. Fastball swung through and missed. The count goes to 2-2. I don't know if they have posted tomorrow's starting pitchers yet. I know that the Central League was doing it on time. The Pacific League was doing it after the games. Very interesting in the Climax Series. There's a fastball that just misses down. The count goes full to Takatera. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fuji's going to have to challenge him here. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on it. It is lifted foul over on the seats on the third base side. And it doesn't look like they are making any announcements on tomorrow night's starting pitchers quite yet. So here comes the 3-2 from Fuji. As the pitch is on the way, there's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Moving back just in front of the warning track and making the catch is Yanagamachi, and Takatera is going to be gone for the first out of the inning. I got to tell you, he hit that ball right on the screws. Just hit the ball far enough. So that brings Seishiro Sakamoto to the plate, who is 0 for 2 tonight. Sakamoto has struck out looking and grounded to short in his 2 trips. Trying to get something going again here for the Tigers in their half of inning number 7. And the pitch from Fuji is a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. If you just joined us, the Hawks got the party started in the bottom of the first inning. RBI single off the bat of Kensuke Kondo brought home Shudo. Fastball catches the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-1 on Sakamoto. Tigers got both of their runs in the top of the 6th. RBI ground out by Morishita and a RBI double off the bat of Sato has allowed the Tigers to take the 2-1 lead. Here comes the 1-1 from Fuji. Split finger pitch misses down, and the count goes to 2-1. Waiting on deck is Ryuhei Obata. We're here in the top of the 7th inning. It is a 2-1 ball game for the Tigers. And there's only 1 gone here. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on. It's going to be pop foul right behind home plate. Counts 2-2 to Sakamoto. So 2 balls and 2 strikes as the right-hander Fuji ready to go again. 1 gone here in the top of the 7th. And now Fuji kicks and delivers. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 2s to Sakamoto. This is where I talked about Fuji, how slow he works. Gets the ball, takes his sweet time. He could probably read a newspaper article and then he'll be ready for the pitch. Unlike Sugiyama, the closer for the Hawks, who works at an unbelievable pace. He is unbelievable how fast he works. So here comes the Fuji offering. It is a fastball swung on and another one lifted foul, and this battle is going to continue with Sakamoto. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. We are now approaching the 2-hour and 20-minute mark of this one. This game was a local time, 6:30 Japan time, or 18:30. Breaking ball just misses outside. The home plate umpire did not go up with the right hand. Catcher Amino was ready to throw down to first base, but the plate umpire wasn't buying anything of it. So the count is now full to Sakamoto. I guess that's the catcher fraternity. Catchers get a little extra treatment for protection behind the plate, maybe when they're up to bat. Here's the 3-2. Fastball swung on and lifted foul, and the count continues to remain at 3-2. This is going to be the 9th pitch of the at-bat to Sakamoto, as this has turned into the battle. As we mentioned, the one thing I noticed about Fuji is I like Fuji. I've seen him pitch quite a bit over the last couple of years. It's almost like he doesn't have that one pitch to bury somebody. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Sakamoto. And what I mean by that, he blew that fastball by him, but he just wastes so many pitches, full counts to both of the first 2 hitters he's faced. Now he's going to be facing Ryuhei Obata with 2 gone here in the 7th inning. Well, for Obata, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has lined to center, and he has popped out to the third baseman. Pitch on the way. Fastball taken at the knees for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Very interesting. Murakami, the pitcher for the Tigers, is still up and throwing in front of the dugout. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe Murakami is going to come back in for another round. So our friend M. Schroeder, we're talking about the starters settling in as that breaking ball misses up and away, and the count is 1-1. Who would have thought Murakami would be coming out for a 7th inning? So here comes the 1-1 pitch as Fuji again holds to the set. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on and missed. The count now goes to 1-2 on Obata. So 1 ball and 2 strikes as the right-hander ready to deliver again. He works himself to the set. Here's the 1-2. Fastball just misses low. Count goes to 2-2. I got to tell you, the home plate umpire tonight, as this game's gotten on, his zone is more and more looking a lot tighter. As the 2-2 pitch is on the way, it's a split-finger pitch, swung on and missed. Mano fields it. He's going to have to step up and throw to first. It's a strikeout, 2-3. Fuji does not make it look easy, as it is definitely a battle. It is going to be coming to bat for the Hawks. Amino, Makihara, and the top of the order, Yanagita. When we return after this, we're going to do our rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. So stay with us, everybody. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. What do you know? Shoki Murakami at 103 pitches is coming back into the ball game to start the 7th inning, as he will face Amino Makihara in the top of the order, Yanagita. So 8, 9, and 1 to come to bat. There is action in the Tigers bullpen, as we will keep our eyes there. They had both a righty and a lefty up, but not doing anything at the moment. The first pitch breaking ball misses down and away to Amino, and the count is 1-0. A pop to second and a strikeout. Actually, it's a pinch hitter here, as it is going to be Masaki who is batting here. So we'll see a new catcher in the next half inning. Fastball that is swung through and missed. So the first hand has been played here, as it is Tomoya Masaki on to pinch hit. And here's the 1-1 pitch. Fastball swung on. It is lifted up, popped up over on the first base side in foul territory is Oyama. He's going to have room to make the catch. That is going to retire Masaki for the first out of the innings. So we'll have to see if there may be a double switch. If Masaki might stay in the ball game for defensive purposes. I somehow don't think so. I think Masaki is more bat than he is glove. Well, that brings to the plate Taisi Makihara. Makihara 0 for 2 in this one. He has grounded out both of his times to the plate. Batting from the left side here against the right-hander Murakami, who kicks and delivers. Fastball misses outside, and the count is quickly 1-0. It would be good for the Hawks to be able to turn the batting order over, but their bottom 3 hitters 0 for 8 tonight. As there is a fastball that misses outside, they appeal over to the third base umpire, but they say that Makihara didn't go around. Boy, I'd like to have a VAR look at that one as well. So 2 balls and no strikes to Makihara. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike. The count now goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Tiger pitcher shaking off his catcher. Now he gets one from Sakamoto that he likes. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul over on the third base side. The count now runs even to 2-2 to Makihara. So 2 balls and 2 strikes it is. Right-hander works himself to the belt. Here comes the 2-2 offering. Kicks and fires. Fastball swung on. It is going to be lined into left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. And that's exactly what the Hawks needed. They need a runner here as Makihara is aboard with a 1-out single. That's going to bring the top of the order and Yuki Yanagita to the plate. So are they going to leave the right-hander in a bat or too long? I guess we're about to find out here. So Makihara aboard with that 1-out single. It's going to bring Yanagita to the plate. 111 pitches now for the right-hander, and hate to say it, but no sign yet of him coming out of the ball game. Makihara gets his lead at first. He's got both feet on the dirt. And there's a split finger that's waved at and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Yuki Yanagita. That's the other thing I like is that you got your best on the mound. You don't have to worry about going to the bullpen. Bullpen pitcher might be the only about 50% of the arm that's on the mound right now. Here's a fastball swung through and missed. The count is 0-2. Yanagita tonight is officially 1 for 2 and a walk. And the right-hander Murakami working himself to the belt after he checks the runner over at first. Here's the 0-2. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field, but underneath it is Morishita as he comes in. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to retire Yanagita for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone. It's going to bring Yukio Shudo to the plate. It was funny. As soon as Yanagita knew that he hit it, I think he knew that he didn't get enough of it. Well, this brings Shudo to the dish. As we said, he's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single. He's reached on a fielder's choice, and he's flown to right. He's got the only run scored by the Hawks in this one. As the right-hander Murakami holds to the belt. Now he steps off and feigns the throw to first base. Right-hander works himself over to the belt. Here comes the offering as he kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is taken on one hop by the second baseman. And a nice play there by the second baseman, Nakano, who throws to first, and Shuto is gone. Ground out 4-3 for the third out of the inning. That's going to do it for Fukuoka here. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and there was a runner left aboard. And by our math, that is 7 runners in 7 innings for Fukuoka. We'll be back in just a couple moments. 2-1 for the Tigers. They have the lead. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It's going to be the top of the order to come to bat here for the Tigers. That means Chikamoto, Nakano, and Morishita. We're just going to wait to see if the Hawks are going to their bullpen yet again. My guess is they will be, as I would think Fuji is a one-and-done candidate. We're just waiting for the information to be provided and handed over at the desk here. And as soon as we get that report, we will share that with you. Taking a quick peek, as they still haven't made that announcement as of yet. As I mentioned before, it is always the challenge. You can see the timing. It's just a little bit different. I wonder if Murakami comes out for the 8th. By all accounts, I don't know if he's done for the day or if he's sitting there. Usually they don't talk to the pitchers in between innings. Curious to see if he is going to be making another round. But it does look like we do have a new pitcher on the hill. This is going to be number 66. And this is going to be Yuki Matsumoto. So Yuki Matsumoto on in relief. And he delivers a first pitch fastball that misses into Chikamoto for ball 1. So Yuki Matsumoto is here. Our Filipino friends still with us, cheering on the Hanshin Tigers. Third pitcher used tonight, as the pitch is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0. So third pitcher used tonight by the Hawks. Got to keep Chikamoto off the base paths, that's for certain. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Especially these top 2 base runners. There's a fastball. Take it for a called strike. I'm not sure Chikamoto like that. I'm not sure I agree with that as well. Some of those earlier pitches looked a little better than that, but maybe the first pitch not getting the call, but that runs the count to 2-1. Here's the 2-1. Fastball swung on and fouled away. Count now 2-2 to Chikamoto. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander ready to go again as he works himself to the set position. Here comes the offering. 2-2 on the way. Fastball swung on, grounded over to the right side. Fielded by the first baseman, Kurihara. Flips it to the pitcher covering, and they're going to beat Chikamoto to the bag. It's a ground out, 3-1 for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up the second baseman in Takuma Nakano. Well, for Nakano, he strides to bat. He's 1 for 3 tonight. He's got a single and 3 trips. He also scored the second run and the go-ahead run in this one. So as he comes to bat here, you face the right-hander Matsumoto. Nakano waiting on the offering here as the right-hander kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that pours in for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and one strike. Matsumoto breathes deeply. He's ready to go again. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. Matsumoto coming in and filling up the zone with strikes. And the right-hander gives it again. There's a split figure pitch that just misses a bit low, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander working himself into the delivery, and it is a fastball swung on. It is going to be sliced foul into that temporary seating down the left field line. The count is 1-2 to Nakano. We were laughing about it the other night, saying that they used to have everybody sit in that section with helmets on, and now they've put some screening around it. I think if I was in the area behind that, I don't think I'd be very happy, because you got to look through 2 sets of screens to see the game. And there is a changeup taken for a called third strike. Oh, Nakano, he stood there like the house by the side of the road. He's in the books for out number 2. That is going to leave it all up to the right fielder and Shota Morishita. Well, for Morishita, in tonight's ball game, he's hit the ball hard. He is officially 1 for 3. He's got a double. He's got an RBI. And he has got a strikeout to his name. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses down and away for ball 1. Count is 1-0 to Morishita. Tigers with a 2-1 lead, looking for some insurance. But they're also looking for some base runners. It's 1 ball and no strikes. He has moved on at a pretty good clip. We thought it was going to be a long one. It is actually at 2 hours and 40 minutes as that fastball misses down. It's now 2-0 to Morishita. But yet, for a 2-1 game, I would expect the pace of play to be a little bit quicker than this, especially when you've got a 2-1 ball game. There's a fastball at the knees taken for a called strike, and the count's 2-1 to Morishita. Hawks scored their first run and only run in the first, 2 runs in the 6th by the Tigers, as there's a fastball hammered foul over on the third base side. The count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Morishita waggling the bat. Right-hander Matsumoto ready to deliver again as he works himself to the set. The 2-2 forthcoming. Pitch on the way. Oh, it's a split-figure pitch. Swung on and missed. Morishita's in the books. Matsumoto does his job, retiring the side in order here in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. The bullpen has pitched great here for the Hawks, yet to allow a hit or a runner. Looks like that is going to be the end of the night of Murakami, as the manager has gone out to tackle the home plate umpire that he is making a change. We'll get that for you when we come back in just a few. It is a 2-1 ball game. It is now a battle of the bullpens the rest of the way. We'll be here to call it for you when we return.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball. That's right, everybody. We know baseball, and we know that it is going to be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters to come to bat here for the Hawks in their half inning, and that means it's going to be Yanagamachi, Kondo, and Kurihara. There is a pitching change as the Tigers are going to a left-hander. This is going to be number 37. This is going to be Masaki Oyakawa. So he'll be the second pitcher used tonight. So Oyakawa on in relief, as it is the end of the night for Murakami, who ended up plowing through 7 innings for the Tigers in this one. So here we go back to the live action. It is going to be the left-handed hitting Yanagamachi, Kondo, and Kurihara. So 3 lefties to come to bat. Actually 4 if you include Kawase. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be lifted into left field. And what a catch by the left fielder. Oh, my goodness. On the run over the shoulder was Shimada making the grab as he gets a nice round of applause. What a beautiful play that was to retire Yanagamachi for the first out of the inning. Yanagamachi hit that ball on the screws going the other way with it. And the left fielder reaches up and he was able to haul it in for out number 1. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Kensuke Kondo. As the first offering on the way to Kondo is a fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. Count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Couldn't hit the ball any harder. Just maybe needed it hit in the air about another 7 or 8 inches, and that might have been all the way to the wall. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. Moving back onto the warning track, leaping up, and he's not going to get it. It's going to go off the wall, and Kondo is going to slide into second with a double. He just misses a home run. And we were talking about this earlier about the balls that have just missed going out here tonight. Shuto hit one, and Nomura hit one, and now Kondo almost hit one. But that ball there up onto the fence line, I'll take a look at the replay. It was probably about maybe a foot. If it was hit a foot higher, that ball clears the fence, and it would have been a home run. But they have life to the Hawks, as they've got a runner at second with 1 out, and it's going to bring a conference to the mound as it brings Ryoya Kurihara to the plate. Well, that conference is over. So I got to tell you, Oyama has delivered 2 pitches tonight, and both of the pitches, or has delivered 3 pitches, and both of the balls that have been put in play have been absolute rippers. Yanagamachi flying out to the left fielder. And then Kondo almost sticking the ball into the seats. So this brings Kurihara to the plate, who is 1 for 3 tonight. He's also flown to right and flown to center. So I don't know. If I'm the Tigers manager, I want to keep my hand on the phone for the bullpen as close to me as possible. There's a fastball that's taken for a call and strike. That worries me how hard they put some good swings on the pitches that they've had that you'd be able to face. Have the Hawks here against the reliever. So no balls and 1 strike to Kurihara. As Oyama delivers a fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count now goes to 0-2. So Oyakawa on the mound here has been rudely awakened. Young left-hander on the mound here getting his signs from his catcher. As now he works himself to the set position. Runner at second is Kondo. One gone here in the eighth. And Oyama delivers. Fastball just misses down and away. Oh, that pitch looked good. Very fortunate was Kurihara not to get that called against him. Crowd is making their noise heard in Fukuoka. They can smell an opportunity here to possibly get another run across the board. And Oyama delivers. Here's the pitch. Fastball, another one that just misses off the outside corner. The count goes to 2-2. Got to tell you, on the K-Zone, the Japanese version of K-Zone, they had that last pitch as a strike. I can't say I necessarily blame them for that particular call. I think they have an argument. So here comes the 2-2 pitch as the lefty again works himself into the set position. Kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Kurihara. He's down on strikes for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it all up to the shortstop in Hikaru Kawase. Well, for Kawase, as he comes to the plate, he's 1 for 3 today. He's got a single in 3 trips. He's popped to short, and he has flown out to left in his 2 trips. Sorry, check that. He is singled, he struck out, and he has popped out to short. And that might be the end of the night here, as it looks like we've got a visitor as the manager has come out. It looks like Oyama is going to be done. Interesting here. They're going to take the lefty out. And I can see why. It is Hotaka Yamakawa who has moved into the on-deck circle. He's going to be pinch hitting here, and that'll be the end of the night for Oyama. So hang tight, everybody. We got a pitching change, and we'll set the table for that when we return here in just a couple of moments. Big moment in the ball game. Yamakawa coming to bat with one on, as he will be facing a new pitcher when we return after this timeout.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Daichi Ishii who is coming on in relief, as he is going to be the third pitcher to be used here by the Tigers in this one. So Daichi Ishii on in relief, as he is going to be taking over here. And so we'll get you the pieces here. It's going to be Hotaka Yamakawa coming to bat with the runner at second and 2 gone here in the inning. The home run champion from a couple of years ago in the Pacific League. On here to pinch hit. As we said at the outset of this one here, I really do think he is going to have an opportunity to be able to make his presence felt in this series. So him coming off the bench here to face the right-hander Ishii. And so the right-hander gets his sign here. This is could be a major turning point in the ball game. 2 out, runner at second. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball that pours in for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike to Yamakawa. Tigers are trying to seal this one off. Hawks are running out of outs. Only got 4 outs left in this one to play with. So here comes the 0-1. Ishii delivers. Fastball that moves Yamakawa off the plate, and the count runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike it is. Outfield is deep for the Tigers. 2 gone here. A little maybe, I don't want to say surprising. They definitely have to have it here, but you got to be concerned. You still, if base hit here, could score a run from second. They don't need the long fly. There's a breaking ball down. Count goes now to 2-1 on Yamakawa. Former Saitama Cebu Lion, he was eradicated by the Lions, banished to Fukuoka in a trade. Had some off-season or off-field issues. It resonated right around the time of the 2023 World Baseball Classic. And when I was in Saitama, he was basically, or Takurazawa was basically wiped away. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. It's now 3-1 to Yamakawa. They basically wanted nothing to do with him. All his signs were down. All his posters were down. Anything related to him was long gone. But he's got a chance to play the hero here tonight. 3 balls and 1 strike it is. He's got a good spot to be able to hit. So Yamakawa waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Ishii. And here comes the pitch. Ishii delivers. It's a breaking ball down. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to be a walk to Yamakawa. It's going to set up runners at first and second. It's going to bring Asami Nomura to the plate. Well, for Nomura, 0 for 3 tonight, but he did have a fly ball to right field that pushed the outfielder back to the warning track. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner here for Yamakawa. So his night will be done. Into punch run for the Hawks. This is number 25, Yudai Shoji. So he is in to do the pinch running. And that's not a bad idea. And I would have to think, based on these moves, we're going to see Kenta Imamiya out on defense for the top of the 9th inning. Here comes the offering from the right-hander. Ishii delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted down the left field line, moving over towards the foul line, and making the catch is the left fielder Shimada, and that is going to do it. Nomura tried to turn on it, just got underneath it a bit, and he's going to be gone for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here for the Hawks. No runs in the inning. There was a hit. There was no errors, and 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move now to the top of the 9th inning. It is the Tigers 2 and the Hawks 1. Stay with us, everybody. We got ourselves a ball game. We'll be back in just a few right after this timeout.
Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there, Steve. And it looks like we are going to have ourselves yet another pitching change here for the Hawks. We'll just have to get you posted on that in just a moment, as it is going to be slated to come to bat here for the Tigers and their half of the ninth inning. It'll be Sato, Oyama, and Shimada. We're just waiting here to see what exactly the Hawks have up their sleeve in terms of a reliever. Matsumoto could potentially go too, but it isn't going to be him. It is going to be the closer. This is going to be Sugiyama coming into the ball game. Interesting that they're going to use him here in this situation. So Kazuki Sugiyama, the quick working right-hander, the fourth pitcher used tonight by the Fukuoka Ball Club. So he is going to be facing a tough part of the order in Sato, Oyama, and Shimada. As we're ready to get the ninth inning underway. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball upstairs that swung on and fouled away. That was at 96 miles an hour on the gun. So no balls and one strike to Sato. Sato 2 for 3 tonight, has a double, an RBI. He's grounded out and struck out. And there's a fastball that swung on it. Another one fouled away, this time on the third base side again. Count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. There's a split finger that's down in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. A little bit surprising that they're bringing the closer in a situation when they're even. I know they're down by a run, but I would have thought that maybe Samori or somebody else would have been used. There's a fastball that misses down and in. Count goes to 2-2 to Sato, although it is a big part of the batting order with Sato and Oyama. So maybe the manager has in mind to shut this part down. Here's the pitch. Split finger pitch, swung on and missed, and Sato is in the books. That's his second time tonight he's gone down on strikes. He's gone for out number 1, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Yusuke Oyama. Well, for Oyama tonight, officially 0 for 3. He has grounded out twice, as well as striking out. And the first pitch here on the way is a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Oyama batting from the right side against the righty Sugiyama, who delivers. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble. Back on the warning track, but he's going to have room to make the catch. Oh, we've seen a few of those tonight. Nice job there by Yanagita to make the grab, and that is going to retire Oyama. He's gone for the second out of the inning, and that'll bring up the left fielder in Kairi Shimada. Again, another ball that didn't miss by much. It was an absolute rainmaker, how high it went into the air. And right up against the wall, and then he had to move in a step, was Yanagita. So that is 2 out here in the inning. And that is going to bring Shimada to the plate. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Yeah, some of the pitchers he's used every bit of the park here tonight to keep the ball in play. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is Yanagamachi, and he's there to make the catch, and that is going to do it. Shimada is going to be gone for the third out of the inning. Well, and that is going to do it here. We're going to the bottom of the ninth inning. no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left the board. Looking ahead to the bottom of the ninth, it is slated to be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters to come to bat. We'll get that for you when we return in just a moment. And our friend M. Schroeder says maybe a crosswind out there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe who knows what's happening in there. It's interesting. They're going to bring Ishii back out to the mound again. So let's see what happens. A little surprised about that one as well. Maybe a 4-inning save for him. We're going to find out when we get back in just a few. We got a 2-1 scoreline. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging in with us tonight on the Last Rounds Baseball YouTube channel. It is the Hawks coming to bat here in the bottom half of inning number 9. We'll bring it to you in just a couple moments. Kenta Imamiya coming in to pinch hit here for Hiroki Manai. So it is Imamiya getting his first at bat of the evening. And he took a first pitch fastball for a called strike. And there's a fastball swung on, and he's going to foul that one away. And the count quickly is no balls and 2 strikes to Imamiya. Imamiya will be followed by Makihara in the top of the order, Yanagita, here in the 9th inning. So no balls and 2 strikes as they are ahead here in the count. Pitch on the way. It's a split finger pitch swung on and chop foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. As a reminder, once this game is done, we will give you the full roundup, as this game here is officially in the deep water. And if we cross the 3-hour mark as well, here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed, and it is going to retire Imamiya on strikes. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up Taisi Makihara. And our friend Jake back in the house, he says he needs some Fukuoka magic. Yeah, you do. Yep, the Softbank Hawks right now need to pull a rabbit out of their hat. They need to get a base runner on here as Makihara steps to the plate. Makihara tonight is officially 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's grounded out twice. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball swung on and fouled away down the first base line. The count is 0-1. Sometimes they just don't get fooled. That would be the case here. So back in is Makihara, ready to face the right-hander again. And the 0-1 on the way. It's a fastball that misses way outside. That was at 94 miles an hour on the gun. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. If you just joined us, well, don't forget tomorrow night, Game 2 Hopefully, you guys can make it in for that one as well. The 1-1 on the way. Fastball swung on and lifted foul. It's going to reach the seats down the left field line. Count 1-2 to Taisi Makihara. On deck is Yuki Yanagita, the top of the order. I was talking earlier about the bottom 3 hitters in the lineup for the Hawks tonight. Going into this at bat, the team in this area here is 1 for 12. Sorry, 1 for 11. This is the 12th at bat. Hawks need to get a couple of runners on to turn it over. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is going to be sliced into left field, but moving back and making the catch is the left fielder Shimada, and that is going to do it here for Makihara. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Well, it's all up to Yuki Yanagita. They're down to their final out now, are the Hawks, as they have exhausted all opportunities. Tigers looking to get an early 1-0 lead in the series here. Unlike the Toronto Blue Jays, who won at home tonight yesterday in Major League Baseball, the Hawks are not going to be able to hold their home down, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1 to Yanagita. Yanagita tonight is 1 for 3. He's got a single and 3 trips. He's also drawn a walk. So Ishii getting his sign. He's ready to deliver again. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball misses down, and it squirts away from the catcher, and the count goes to 1-1. Yukio Shuda waiting his turn on deck. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Ishii gets a new baseball, rubs it up. Tigers looking to put away the Hawks here in game 1. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. As Ishii kicks and fires, fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike. Well, now the Hawks are down to their final strike. Yanagita in the hole at 1-2. Tigers looking to close this one out. That was a nice pitch. I think if I'm Yanagita, I want that one back. So here comes the 1-2 pitch. Ishii nodding in agreement with the catcher. And he's ready to deliver the pitch. The 1-2 on the way. Fastball. Ooh, just misses outside. And the count goes to 2-2. Good discipline there by Yuki Yanagita. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ishii getting the signals from his catcher. He nods in agreement. And the 2-2 on the way. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lined into right field. If it stays fair, it's going to be trouble, and it's just going to hook foul into the corner. That ball would have been extra bases for sure for Yanagita. Definitely, most likely a double had that ball stayed fair. And our friend Jake was looking for some Fukuoka magic, and he almost had some there. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The battle continues here. Ishii has thrown 19 pitches in his inning plus of work. Right-hander again working himself into the belt. And here comes the 2-2 to Yanagita. Pitch on the way. Fastball swung on. This is going to be grounded up the middle for a base hit. And so the Hawks have life. A single here for Yanagita with 2 gone. So Jake looking for some magic. Well, maybe you got a little bit there as Yanagita's got himself a base hit. And it looks like they're going to pinch run for him. This probably wouldn't happen 10 years ago. But he is aboard with a single. And that is going to bring Yukio Shudo to the plate. So the Hawks have a little bit of life breathed into them. So Yanagita's night is done. If you get a number there, it looks like it's number 57 for the Hawks. And that is Rico Ogata, who is on to run. So Ogata is the runner at first base. And now there is more action getting ready in the bullpen. It is a lefty up and throwing for the Tigers. Just nice and easy. So Yukio Shudo steps in here. Runner at first, 2 gone in the 9th. As the right-hander ready to go. Our friend M. Schroeder is trying to speak it into existence. There's I was about to say we was going to have a pitch, but time was called by the catcher of the Tigers, Sakamoto. Our friend Jake says they got to attempt to steal here. I would think you got to get them into scoring position in some capacity. Here's the pitch. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. One thing you got to be concerned about is a split-figure pitch in the dirt early in the count that can move them into scoring position. And then if that's the case, then go get some hot water, fire it up, and make yourself another cup of coffee or tea because we could be here for a while. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Ishii delivers. Fastball at the knees, taken for a called strike, and Shudo's in the hole now at 0-2. So the second time tonight that the Hawks have found themselves down to their final strike. So this is a second match point, in essence, right here. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Ishii getting the sign from his catcher. He checks the runner over at first. Sorry, no balls and 2 strikes, I should say. They throw over to first base and diving back in time. I have to tell you, we've done pretty good tonight at our end, been able to stay awake, but it is getting to be very, very late in the game, literally, and late in the morning here in North America. So we'll be getting on with our day here shortly. So here comes the 0-2 pitch as Ishii delivers. Fastball, there goes the runner, and it's swung on and fouled away. Oh, you're not going to believe this. We got catcher's interference. That's going to be an error charged to the catcher. Shudo is going to be aboard. He's going to go to first base. Advancing over to second is Ogata. Oh, here comes the weirdness. That's going to bring Tetsuro Yanagamachi to the plate. The runner was on the move. The catcher, Sakamoto, came up to throw, and the batter, Shudo, reached out to try to hit the ball, but he ended up getting Sakamoto in the glove. So an error charged to the catcher, and it looks like we've got ourselves the pitching coach has come out to the mound to talk to Ishii. Our friend Jake says, call it what it is. Magic? Oh. Well, that could not have been a worse timed catcher's interference. I mean, you got that batter at no balls and 2 strikes. He's in a situation that it's, if you steal him over to second base, that more than likely that would have been a foul ball. And as our friend Jake said, put the runner in motion. Maybe they put him in motion maybe a couple of pitches too late. So here we go back to the live action as Tetsuro Yanagamachi strides into the plate. He is 0 for 3 tonight. He's also drawn a walk. So Ishii looking to close the deal. Runners are at first and second, 2 gone here in the 9th. Everything has started with 2 out. Right-hander checks the runner. Ogata, the pinch runner at second base. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0 to Yanagamachi. And waiting on deck is Kensuke Kondo, so it's not going to get any easier. So 1 ball and no strikes. Yanagamachi in a good hitter's count. As the right-hander Ishii works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on and lifted foul into the seats over on the third base side, and the count goes even to 1-1. I guess, Jake, if you keep talking about it, you might speak it into existence. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Yanagamachi. Ishii got the first 2 outs of the inning, and now he's got himself in a hole. He checks the runner, Ogata, over at second base. He works himself to the set. And he checks the runner at second. Here comes the 1-1. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into left center field. Chikamoto calling everybody off. He's there. He makes the catch. And that is going to do it. The Tigers are going to win game 1 of the series by a final score of 2-1. In the 9th inning, there was no runs in the inning. There was a hit, there was an error, and there was 2 runners left aboard. The Hawks tonight, the tail of the tape. And as far as I'm concerned, they left 11 runners on board tonight. Couldn't get the clutch hit when needed. It is the Tigers 2, the Hawks 1. Stick around, everybody. We'll come back and wrap it up in just a couple of moments after this. Appreciate you for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel with us here tonight.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a wrap-up here that'll take just a couple minutes because I don't think this is going to be all that long with the ball game that we had tonight. The Hawks scored in the first inning. Yukio Shudo got the first run of the ball game for the Hawks. He reached on a fielder's choice, and then it was an RBI single off the bat of Kensuke Kondo once Shudo stole second. Give the Hawks an early 1-0 lead. The Tigers got all their runs in the 6th inning. Leadoff single off the bat of Koji Chikamoto. He stole second. Then Takumu Nakano singled. He stole second. That put runners at second and third. Shota Morishita grounded out to short, bringing home Chikamoto with the first run of the game for the Tigers. And then Teraki Sato hit a double into the right center field gap to bring home the second run for the Tigers, and that is where the score ended there. It is going to be Shoki Murakami getting the win tonight. He goes to 2-1. Taking it on the chin is going to be the starter Kohei Arihara. He drops to 0-1 in the Japan series. Once again, everybody, we thank everybody for listening in. Our friend M. Schroeder says he doesn't think he ever lost a total listening into our channel. Well, I guess you got to lose one sometimes. And our friend Lance Jenkinson says the Hawks blew that game. Yeah, they left too many runners aboard. That was unfortunate for Fukuoka. What did I say? There was 11 runners on board tonight. Couldn't get the clutch hit when needed. All right, everybody, we're back on the airwaves again tomorrow night. It'll be 2:30 a.m. Pacific time if you're in North America, 5:30 Eastern. And if you are anywhere else in the world, well, hopefully you guys can make it in with us again tomorrow night. The Australian friends, we love having you guys getting a chance to come in and listen into the stream live. You got it pretty much the best of both worlds. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you again tomorrow. It'll be Tigers and Hawks in the second game of the series. Hopefully you guys can be here with us. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.